And we're live. What up, Bear Gang? We're here. Happy Monday. Okay, hold on. Whatever. Happy Monday. We're gonna shoot for an 8-hour stream, get to silver 4, and call it a day. A nice little Monday. Ooh. I wanted to play music. I did like a 4-hour music, or I did a 4-hour stream, and I was playing music from Spotify, and I wasn't able to post any of that. So that's really sad.
You know, in a weird way.
Hey folks, here we are. We might be drunk. We're back. We got an old fave here.
Yeah, excited for this guest today, David Cross. I mean, not to nerd out here, but like, I hate the word like comedy education, but like, Mr. Show was huge for me though. It was like a huge show for me. It like taught me like. It was like cool comedy to me.
Yeah.
Well, when I first saw Mad TV, I had the same feeling, the same sense, I guess, that something special was happening in comedy.
That was a huge. I rewatched some of the sketches today because just to in anticipation of having you on. I was like, man, they hold up. They're great, man.
They hold up. There you go.
Well, it was a different time too. You could get crazy back then.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely stuff on there that somebody will point out every once in a while. There's that thing that people say like, "Hey, couldn't do this today. Couldn't make that."
Right.
But there are truly some. There's a whole thing with Muhammad. Guy
oh God.
as Muhammad. And,
Yeah.
And a very brief little thing about called like these, whatever it is, like crazy religions or some kind. It's like a goofy. Thank you very much.
This is going to remind some extremists right now that you did this and get you in trouble.
We're right now. I'll tell you, we're on 39th on 251 West 39th.
Well, it was also
16th floor. You come out of the elevator and you're just going to take a quick left, and then.
Yeah, Rogan Studios down the hall, so start there. But it was so cool seeing that show on HBO because you'd wear shorts. And as a kid, that blew my mind.
Yeah, well, that was it was one of those things that it like Bob was a dress up in a suit guy,
Yeah.
and I was not, and I just wanted to wear what I was comfortable in, because you have a long day and night at the studio when you're shooting at the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't. I'm not comfortable in suits and it's L.A. in the summer.
Yeah, right.
And there's no there. They were the first several years were just shitty. I mean, the first 4 were in a bar restaurant thing that we just sort of got
really?
for the first 4 tapings, and there's no AC or ventilation, and it was hot. It sucked.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wear a suit, and I was also that kind of. To an annoying degree, comic who's like anti-authority, anti-this.
Sure.
We
You're not
felt
gonna tell
that.
me what
That was
That
part
was
of the
part of
fun.
Yeah.
So,
No, I would if I feel I would watch it with friends. Like some of your friends get it and some of them don't get it, but the ones who didn't get it, I'm like, they're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
That was just the reaction. I mean, there was so many weird ones, like the monsters of megaphone crooning. For whatever reason, that one just like hit me. Like it's so weird and great.
I think that was if I remember correctly, that was Paul F. Tompkins' idea. I think it was basically there was the Monsters of Rock tour, and just the it was kind of about the hype and the marketing of it, and this is before Coachella and all that kind of stuff. And I think that was a great example of like a sketch that was like a certain kind of idea that was a very funny idea and didn't have a ton of travel to it or story, and then it just became this through everybody sitting around and working on it. But I believe it was Paul F. Tompkins' idea.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one.
You must have had a ton of pushback from like suits on that show. I
Zero.
imagine. Really?
Zero. We had one note, which we took over the 4 years. We had one note, and you got to keep in mind this was early mid '90s, and HBO wasn't that established outside of a handful of things. I mean, like Dream On was a big show.
Oh, I love Dream On.
And but they didn't have a ton. It was pre Sopranos and obviously Game of Thrones and Sex and the City and all that kind of stuff. So they gave us whatever it was, the comedy block with Chris Rock, and I think we followed Chris, and it was Fridays at midnight and anything goes, and they told us like. And also, we were cheap. We've got to be must have been one of the cheapest shows on TV. And they just said, yeah, we want stuff that you can't have anywhere else.
Yeah.
That only exists here. And, obviously pre-streaming and all that stuff. And
wish that was still the case.
yeah, we literally one note.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we do a Jimmy Fallon spot, and it's like, cut that, cut that, cut that. And you're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
There was I don't remember the entirety of the episode or but it was Bob and I looking back when we come out in the intros and we're looking back at our upbringing, and then I play my dad in like this like 1920s like raccoon coat and 23 skidoo thing, and Mary Lynn Rice Cub is my wife, but it's so it's my dad and so it's me as a little baby, and my dad, in air quotes, me, whatever, is giving a lot of attention to the baby. This little baby, a plastic baby, clearly a plastic baby, and Mary Lynn's like, what about me? What about me? I'm like, but look at this cute little thing. Look at this adorable little baby. And she goes, fuck the baby, and throws it down on the ground. And the sole note was, you can't say fuck the baby.
Nah, you can throw it.
You can throw it, and you can say screw this, or whatever it ended up being. Who cares about the bird? Forget this baby. That was the one note.
That's so weird about comedy and notes. You can be like, I'm gonna kill myself, but then if you're like, so gay people, huh? They're loud. You're like, ooh, the gay loud.
Yeah.
Like, well, that was a joke. They're killing themselves is probably true.
Wait, are gay people loud?
Well, I just threw out something.
I don't.
I'm sure there are some loud gays out there, loud
I'm sure
and proud.
there's some, but is that a stereotype?
I just made one up because I was trying not to get in trouble.
well,
Puerto
it didn't
Ricans,
work.
They're
Hearing
they
a
can't
lot of
swim.
the comments are furious.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's what I love about those sketches. Though is like, I just never knew where they were going.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
never. I mean, we all were watching the Ronnie Dobbs sketch in here yesterday, and just the fact that it goes to a guy who keeps getting arrested, and then the turn is that he can't get arrested anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a real important part of the kind of the. We didn't have rules, but we had a handful of things that we were pretty that were important, like not doing specific parodies of specific people, and to keep it, somewhat vague, and to be about the idea of that kind of what that person represents, which I think is in part why it still holds up, But as opposed to like when you watch SNLs from there's a sketch about Tanya Harding. You're like, what? Oh, I
Right.
vaguely remember that, but one of the things was to tell a story with the sketch if you could, I mean, why not?
And then it became a movie.
And it became a movie that nobody saw.
I
saw it.
Okay, well, there's I don't know how many people
You got
know
Mandy
this.
Patinkin in that movie.
We
Come
did have
on.
Mandy Patinkin. We had a lot of, oh man, there was some good stuff. Fortunately, it was Bob and I didn't officially disown it, but we were very disappointed. We were why am I even qualifying it? We were kicked out of editing, and we didn't have we were lied to about certain elements that we wanted to hand in that we thought we just assumed that we would do what made the show successful, but that was taken away from us by people who clearly know better. And so it's hard for Bob and I to watch. I can't even. I doubt either of us have seen it in 20 years, but over 20 years probably. But
Neither is the public.
yeah, that's just as God is intended.
But that would never get made today, not because it's offensive, just because it's not Marvel.
Because we're too old.
Well, there you go.
Nobody wants to see me running around with my shirt off at this point. No, thank
you
you.
looked pretty good then. You were thin.
Yeah, then sure.
Yeah.
But, there's only so many loud gays that are going to want to see that.
But we have a title for this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Loud gays. Yeah, man. But you talk about like SNL, doing those, I guess, time capsule type sketches and Mad TV. Were you resentful of those shows? Was part of you like, fuck these shows?
No, not. I mean, Bob was more because he had worked there and he
Right.
did not have a great experience there.
They miss out on a lot of talent. Like Bob is a great example of a guy that they clearly didn't understand.
I mean,
Patel.
I've always said this. Like,
Larry David.
it's not. It works for what it is, and it's a really hard thing to have. To have 1 week to
Yeah.
turn around a live show and to have to humor a guest who doesn't have any particularly any skill set in comedy or anything like that, and that's a hard thing to do. And I just have zero interest in it. I don't watch it out of like resentment. I don't watch it because it's not very good. And you could tell that there's a lot of great ideas there, and if they had the time,
Yep.
and there's the on-screen talent is phenomenal, and I know that there's good writing in there, but they just don't have the time. But that's not what they do. That's not what they're.
Part of the fun is how quick it has to be flipped over.
Well, fun is relative, I guess, but it's just not. It's not for me or people like me. It's for the people who watch it, and there's a lot of people
for loud gay people, I think.
It's for loud gay
Yeah, they
people,
just
and
love
that's
it.
not me anymore. Not since the therapy.
More broad.
But you brought up Bob at SNL. I mean, like Tim Robinson, that's another example, right? His sketch show is hilarious, but
Was he SNL?
He was an SNL guy.
Oh, there's
I
so
didn't know
many
that.
examples,
Yeah.
guys. There's so
many.
many examples, but that's not the machine they created. They created a lucrative machine, and that machine works a certain way. And I have zero interest in that as a comedy writer performer. That doesn't interest me at all. But I mean, it works.
Yeah,
You know.
still on. They're always that weird, like SNL's dead. They do that every 10 years about, but it's still here.
But you can see, I mean, you'll see a sketch that if that sketch was able to go through kind of the process we had at Mr. Show, like, oh man, I bet that would have been that would have ended up being a great sketch. You certainly have the comedic acting chops there. Everybody's really exceptional, and it's just the writing doesn't get a chance. That's not what they do.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Mr. Show sketch that you ever did?
Oh man, there's so many. There's some that have a really great memory attached to it. It was really fun to perform, or shoot it. Some that were fun to write. I think there are a handful of like kind of perfect sketches. I think my favorite and I'm biased because I wrote it, but my favorite one that is just has everything is the prenatal pageants, where the prenatal
Pull it up.
baby, they have it's the southern kind of
Oh, yeah.
3-year-olds and 5-year-olds pageantry stuff, and the acting in it is great. Bob is tremendous. The idea is fully realized. There's a lot of funny stuff in there, and poignancy, which I think. Are we supposed to watch this?
Wow.
What,
I don't
it's a
remember
podcast.
this one, but
Aren't people listening to this?
no,
Well, it's video, too.
they're
Watch
fucked.
it.
All right.
We get a lot of video.
We don't have to watch the whole thing, but
Well,
it's
that's
fun to see it.
that's the. Oh, I see.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
the TV show thing. That's not it.
Oh, this is
no,
not the
that's
pageant.
You're slipping,
It
Salacuse.
says prenatal pageant.
It does say it. Yes. I think. Well, we had a lot of transitions and stuff,
Uh-huh.
so you never know what goes into it and what.
And who was on your writing staff? Any notables?
Well, I mean, we had
Paul F's great.
Paul F. Tompkins, Brian Posehn, Dino Stamatopoulos.
Oh, wow.
Jay Johnston, B.J. Porter, Scott Ackerman. We had various people throughout the years that would come and go. Bill Odenkirk. There's some others.
No, that's a hell of a list.
Oh gosh, I'm probably forgetting some. This is gonna get me in trouble.
You forget how long some people have been in this biz.
Yeah.
Because were you a New York kind of Lower East Side alternative guy?
No.
Or was
I was in Boston. And before they had a term, before alternative was a term, but it was definitely, especially in Boston in the 80s. I moved there in 83, end of 83, beginning of 84, and there was definitely like a kind of a division between two schools of thought for comedy, and then people who had their kind of had a foot in both equally comfortable in each camp, like Mark Maron, Louis C.K. Those guys kind of
Did both.
yeah, did both very well. And then some people who didn't cross over to the other thing as easily. But Janine Garofalo was a big part of that.
Oh, yeah.
But there was it wasn't like we all sat down and, strategized it out. It just sort of was. And then we had our places to play. Like there was Catch a Rising Star in Cambridge. And that was definitely the alternative or quote unquote, whatever you want to call it, experimental, And then there were, there was, Nick's and Comedy Connection and various places that were way more of the, kind of blazer, and brick background and roll your sleeves up and, punchline, setup, punchline. Did the same act for literally decades.
A lot of those guys, yeah.
Yeah. And they're great. I mean, like some of those guys are so, just so extremely talented and just in awe of them. But then when you see them over the years and you keep working with them and you're like, this is literally the same thing.
I know.
Well, I think that's why a lot of them become alcoholics.
Oh, they were already alcoholics.
I think it's hard to do that sober, but if you're hammered,
Thanks
you're
for
like, it's like
the
an
follows, guys.
autopilot thing.
Welcome
you just
to the
kind of
Rare
go on.
Gang.
But to be totally present for that, I think it is hard.
Over again,
Well,
baby.
but then the option is don't become an alcoholic and write some new fucking bits.
Well, I'm not defending it. I'm trying to make sense of it. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but there was a big, there was kind of a macho element to it too.
To murder.
To what?
To murder, to kill. All
To
the
kill,
time.
yeah, and to be the top of that food chain, and I mean, like really talented guys, like the funniest fucking guys, but it was a little depressing. Like that they've been, because you know them personally, and you know that this certain thing happened. Somebody ended up in jail or whatever.
Right.
Something
Fist fights.
happened. And like you're not going to incorporate that into a bit. You can't. That's you're still doing jokes about paper towels.
Yeah, right.
It was just weird. It was weird, and
They're not tapping into the darkness and it's gold. A lot of those stories.
But it would require failing and working the bit out where they have to go out there and crush it.
That, I think, is a big part of it.
Yeah.
I think you just hit the nail on the
We
head
have to have a lot of humility to keep writing because
Yeah.
it sucks to bomb.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And if you're, this is, times were flush and there was a glut of places to do comedy. Everybody wanted it, and if you're one of those top guys, you could make a lot of money doing 5 sets a night over the weekend.
Yep.
All cash under the table, and tons of blow and drinking and partying and yeah, I mean you could. It's a lifestyle that would catch up with you, of course.
Sure.
But, I mean, it's tough to say no to that,
Yeah.
But I think Mark, I think the idea of working material out and not, and not killing is just they don't do that. It's not part of their thought process.
I know, but it's hard. I've got an hour right now that's cooking, and then you throw the new one in, and you just fall off a cliff, and then you have to get it back up. So I get it, but you still got to do the new.
But then what David's saying, it's also true that you become that guy whose reputation is to kill.
Yes.
So if you don't kill, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Totally.
So that's tough too. I mean,
There's nowhere to really work out. They're not going to go hit an open mic or something like that.
yeah. Well, if you don't have a following, you start playing gigs where they're booking you to have the killer
Yes,
set.
yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So
It's tough.
It's just a different mindset, a different approach, a different. You value different things differently. And
Yeah. It's one thing cool about Louis is like when he was doing that an hour a year thing.
yeah.
He'd have this great special. We all loved him. He was huge. He was, praised. And then he would come back with nothing, and he would bomb for like 3 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were all like, "This is the guy." And then 3 months and 10 days, and it was murdering.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
how
respect
it's
that.
called work.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that part can suck, but it's also fun and
Thrilling.
satisfying to. There's like a piece that you're just like I don't know. I can't crack this. I know there's an
Yes.
idea there somewhere. I've tried it, and it's just not worth the time. And then you are about to ditch it, and you just stumble across like, I'll approach it this way, not this way.
Nothing
and
better.
it's great. It's a great feeling. And
Holy
you nail it.
shoot.
And then it becomes, but then next thing you're awarded a Nobel Peace Prize. You're at the Kennedy Center Honors. All kinds of stuff. You get a Skechers, promotional contract or a free pair of shoes.
I'm going
Sure.
for Vans. I'm a Vans man. But
But then there's guys that you never see where I've never seen Mulaney try anything new and struggle. Every time I see him, he's just got gold.
Yeah.
There's some guys out there and gals who are just, just on it. Kumail was like that.
everyone's got a place they bomb though.
They must.
He must do it like on the road, slipping it in, and then he's probably
have
just
to.
smooth at it.
You
You
have
have to.
to.
Everyone's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we're watching Chris Rock miss on a couple, then
True,
everyone
true.
is,
But that's what the cellar's
process.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cellar is for that, and there are a couple places. Don't forget when you go to L.A., you go to the Improv, or there's a handful of places where, and it's mostly where there's a tourist crowd, and they don't give a shit if it's not your A material. They're thrilled that Aziz or Sarah Silverman or whoever is like, oh my God, we went to New York, we went to L.A., we went to Chicago, and we went to go see a comedy show, and you're never going to guess who came down.
Right,
and
right.
they don't. I don't think they care that much that it was, it wasn't 7 minutes of solid shit. They're
Sure.
just thrilled that, and who wouldn't be? You should
Yeah.
be.
But we're not Sarah Silverman level,
Not yet. I mean, wait till the blockers kick in, and
that loud gaze chunk. That starts hitting.
No, we. No.
do we got?
Oh, look, there
I
we
think
go,
it's a loud
Mateo.
kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Have you've noticed that Mateo and Mark they share a similar.
What?
They look
are
similar.
you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a nice
Oh,
thing
yeah.
anyone's ever said to me.
I don't
Yeah.
see it.
Oh, I do.
I mean,
Really?
maybe I get a stash.
Mateo and I were making out the other night.
Really?
And I thought.
Well,
it
Mark,
was
kiss him. Let's see if this works.
All right. I'll see some resemblance.
Do you
Yeah.
not see that?
I'll tell you, we're both. He's all Italian. I'm half Italian, so maybe there's something there. But
Just look at that.
he's
Come
like
on,
a
guys. That looks
sexy
like
guy.
you. It looks like you doing a character.
That's his personality, by the way.
yeah,
But
that'll get me canceled.
But no, it is interesting. I mean, do you still tour a lot? Are you on the road a lot?
I'm about to go out on tour. Thank you for setting that up, Sam. That was beautiful. That was just perfect. Why, you can go to my website, officialdavidcross.com, and you'll see the dates. And if there are tickets available for some are sold out, sure, I'll say that. For the tour, it's called, there it is, Worst Daddy in the World Tour. And you can go get tickets. It starts in early March and will run. The first leg is up, so please don't, if you don't see your city or town, I will be going to more places in Canada and Europe as well, so don't get upset. We will be putting the second leg dates up shortly. But yeah, there's the first leg that goes from March into June, I think.
A lot of great rooms here. Talia Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. Danforth just did that one. That's
Love
a hot
Danforth.
one. Great room.
Which city is that?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Oh,
I recorded
nice.
a CD there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you use our buddy to open a lot, Sean Patton.
Yeah, Sean's going out on this tour.
Oh,
yeah,
I love Sean.
Sean's
He's our
opening
guy.
it up.
Yeah, we love
he's
him.
great.
Great comic.
Tough follow, I bet. I mean, he's a high energy fat guy.
I love him. I love his brain and his how quick he is and how extemporaneous it all seems. And he's great.
He's one of the good loud fats.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
One of the good loud fat.
One of the good loud fats. Yeah.
Great
I
story.
don't want to call him fat. He's not fat.
He's portly.
Yeah,
he just got
there's
out of a relationship. He looks good, ladies.
There you go.
He looks
Great
very
hair.
good.
Did that not?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh,
They
that's
did the
too
open
bad.
relationship, which always works.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
and-
bummer.
I don't know if we should be saying all that.
All right, she's got a ukulele. She'll be fine. But we love you, and we love Caitlin too. She's a
Really
good egg.
good people.
Yeah. Because Sean likes to booze,
Yeah.
and I think you like a nice
I do.
adult beverage every now and then.
I met you in a bar. You definitely won't remember this because it was many years ago. But we were in a bar.
Good. How are you?
1999.
No, but
The bar with the blue
you
oyster.
were just hanging there. You were just having a drink, and a show popped up. Which, like, I'm sure if you're a comic, is your worst night. You're like, I'm going to get away
Wait,
from this one night.
can I take a guess? Because
Yeah.
this has not happened too often.
Yeah.
Was it Parkside?
No, it was actually,
Oh.
but it was Lower East Side.
That's a great
Okay.
bar.
It was a different. That is a classic, but.
Because that happened to me. It hasn't happened very often, but I remember being at Parkside, and I'm there drinking with some friends, and like, all right, we got. Are you here for the show? We're gonna get ready. Like, oh no. You want to do a set? Oh no.
Well, this night you did do a set, and I thought, yeah, you were just having a beer, and they were like, "Do you want to go on?" You were like, "Yeah, all right." And I was like, "Damn, that's a comic." His night off.
What bar is this?
It was on First and A, I think. I don't remember the name.
library?
Bar?
I don't know.
No, that was
Second and A, maybe. Second and A. It was that area.
Yeah, that would be the. What library doesn't have stand up?
No,
I did a
it's not.
Parkside.
Wait.
Lounge
Oh
show.
wait. Was it 2A
Yeah.
upstairs?
Yeah,
at
yeah,
2A?
that's what it was.
That must have been it.
That was it.
Well, that was my. I used to live across the street, so that was one of 3 regular bars that I'd go to, so yeah, that makes sense.
There's always
Yeah.
a show there. It feels like. Every time I walk by, I see people sad that they have to listen to comedy upstairs.
I did a show once at Parkside Lounge. I was like brand new to comedy, and this guy ran a show there. I don't remember his name, but he hosted a show. There were good comics on the show. He has a full-on racist meltdown. It was like a Michael Richards thing before Michael Richards. He just starts chanting the N-word. He walks the entire room.
Wait, he was a comic, or he was putting the show together?
Both.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he just goes on a full-on screaming the N-word, chanting it, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" They walked out one by one, single. No one was left. And then he said he was going to throw me on, and I'm just sitting there, and he walks over to me. He goes, "Yeah, it didn't work." And I was like, "That? What, you thought that was going to work?"
Oh, that was a bit.
Yeah, he thought that was like performance. He thought he was like doing some like performance art thing. And I was like, "Yeah, I could have. You should have run that by someone."
I can't believe you saw Sean Patton.
Brutal.
Jeez, that's crazy. There was a lot more performance arty. Remember, what was that place?
Fifi?
No. You see I saw Jimmy Fallon there years ago. It was on A and second, or first. A and first. Oh, Faceboy had an open mic there. Ah, it was a famous bar.
Yeah, what up,
and had an
Flora
upstairs.
James? What's up?
There
What's
was
up?
always celebrities in there, but they
remember
had
you.
what they called the art
A and
stars.
first would have been like there was It was the
How you
library.
doing?
No, I know the library. It was across the street from the library.
So Double Down, or
I know that one. No, it was a couple doors up. It was 2 floors, but it had a.
Oh, it's the Irish place, the Mary O'Malley's or whatever. They had a
no.
second floor.
Okay.
It used to be something. It was like Anyway, I'm going
Maybe that's
way back.
something like
but-
that. But yeah, there was a mic. There was these guys called art stars. That's what they called themselves. And there was all these performance artists. One guy would do slam poetry. One girl would
Sounds
do the
terrible.
the vagina.
Playing some League,
painting
man.
with the
Playing some
brush,
League of
you know?
Legends.
It was the whole thing. And then I'd go up as a traditional stand-up, and they
Try
were
not
like
to lose.
square, dork. So those
rooms would have a way of making me feel uncool.
Oh yeah.
Because I do a lot of like set up punch jokes too, so if they're not working, you're just kind of like, well,
No,
there's.
listen, guys. Nobody is not going to like your stand-up if you have a traditional thing. Nobody at those places is going to go, hey, this guy just said a setup, and then the setup had something funny at the end of it. What
I know,
the
but that's
fuck?
in our head for
That's
some
how you
reason.
felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. I think if you're funny, you're funny.
I agree.
Yeah, because there was a
We
lot
weren't
of
secure. Now I feel comfortable in any room,
right.
but there was a time when I was like, oh, I don't do this room. I'm more of a club comic.
That was actually something that we ran into when this is going a little bit further back, but in Los Angeles, that whole out of the Mr. Show, that whole crowd, and when people started, when the New York Times wrote about alternative comedy, somebody came up with that thing, and that became a thing. And now there's and the Larry Sanders Show has Janine Garofalo and Marilyn Rice Cub and Bob Odenkirk and all that. It suddenly became a thing. And then getting either friends of ours or people that we admired that were more traditional comics said, come on down, do the show. And this happened a bunch, and people would be really nervous. They would had that thing in their head, like, what am I? It's like, what is it going to be filled with punk rockers having a mosh pit?
Right.
Like that attitude, and it's going to be fine. Nobody gives a shit. Just be funny. You're funny. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I know.
But don't you think that some people thought your comedy style, like this show, was so original and kind of a cool vibe that maybe that you look down on a more traditional style?
Perhaps, yeah, but we tried to dispel that notion immediately.
That's nice.
'Cause
Yeah.
it wasn't it happened more than a handful of times where people
Sure.
were like, oh, I don't know if they're gonna like me. Like, of course they'll like you.
Yeah.
There's no rule. We just
Be funny.
and it's a person that you know and admire, so you know that there's something there. Just come down and you'll just discover it. Just it's a safe place.
Yeah.
It's a comedy safe place.
Yes, and he had guys who I would see Todd Barry at the Cellar, then I'd see Todd Barry at UCB, and he would
Yeah.
kill
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd is hilarious.
Yeah,
The link
he's a
works,
funny
man. The
guy.
link
What
works.
about,
So
where
I
do
don't know
you
what
get
you're talking
recognized from
about.
the most, because you've done so much stuff.
clicked it
is
right
Arrested
now.
Development, is it Mr. Show?
No, it's I was reporter number 3 in the Amelia Earhart story.
Nice. That's
and
big.
Come
It is
on.
big, and I.
Does she show up at all in the movie?
Yeah, it's her story.
Oh, nice.
And
I don't know, man. My
a
level's
lot
like
of people go,
80 or
excuse
something.
me, I'm 92 years old, but if I remember correctly, weren't you reporter
90.
number 3
That's pretty cool.
in the Amelia Earhart story? And we go, yeah. Tobias. was
Yeah,
probably
it's gotta be the
Yeah.
main thing by far. And then, you get your random. I was at a bar. Sam, you're going to love this because I was at a bar by myself drinking the other night. And I got a note on a piece of paper bag, brown paper bag, just torn off and folded. Guy put it in front of me and then walked back to his table. Said, "Thank you so much for Todd Margaret. I'm a big fan."
Whoa.
And he was a middle-aged black man.
Hey, you never know.
Another one in my corner.
Yeah. Now we've mentioned you like to booze. You're at bars alone, and I heard on a pod you mentioned you did crack once,
Yeah.
and you said you get it.
Yes, it was really. I want to say it's life-changing, but the fact that I stopped was
That's the
an
tough part.
affirmation.
You did it just once.
Yeah, for a long. It was a long once.
Oh.
The once part.
like a
took-
binge.
It was. So I was in. This would have been 2000.
22.
This was in London, and it was around. I want to say 2006.
Crack in London?
Maybe
They have crack?
2006.
I didn't
No,
know
they
that.
got everything. Yeah. And it comes with free healthcare, so it's not the worst.
Sure, that helps.
But and I was there's this guy, and I've mentioned this guy, and people are like, oh yeah, they know his name or whatever. He's dead now, but he was famous. I didn't know this at the time. I was in Camden, and which is kind of an older, gonna sort of where hippie meets punk kind of aesthetic, and there's this guy who used to sing, and he was like kind of very punkabilly look and leather jacket and greased back pompadour, and he would be in the back of this fish and chips place, very small place, and somebody, oh right, of course, it was one of the Vice guys. So it was this guy named Andy Capper, who's got amazing stories, and who's, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but we would hang out, and that's a guy you're gonna get in trouble with, and we were there with this a friend of mine who happened to be over there, and we ended up with this guy and these two like out of central casting for London, like I would say they were probably early 40s, late 30s, but looked older and just kind of beaten up, but very cackly women, and we ended up going back to his flat, which was like up some stairs, and I remember a fish tank that just had dirty dishes in it. It was like a fish tank, not with fish in it, but just like an empty fish tank. It was just filthy. Places filthy, and doing crack, and going. This is with like really going. I like this. I like the crack, but I smoked this thing that made me like the disgusting thing that I was in. It wasn't like an hallucinogenic, or you didn't think about stuff, and I didn't think it wasn't even like crystal where you're like, my future is bright, I love life, this is great, I'm gonna walk around and just enjoy the thing. It was just until you're actually inhaling it, I'm like, this is awful. What am I doing here? People willingly.
Well, how
I don't know. A bunch of people have added me on from that
going
server,
around?
bro. So just.
Yeah. And we.
I'm pretty sure you can just add me from the server. I don't know my username.
Andy got us.
I don't use Discord very often.
To introduced us to this guy. This is what we're gonna do, and this is what we're gonna do for the next hour.
Bunch of people
That
added
next
me
hour
already,
turned
so.
into, to dawn. Here's the other important part to this: is I have a show that night.
I'm sure
doing
it's
a
there.
long residency at the Soho Theater in Soho in London, and it's important,
Yeah.
And I'd always made a deal with myself, always, that I still have. Like, if I ever drink too much, get too high, do too many drugs, whatever the thing is that prevents me from doing a show and doing the show like I can do it, then I have to quit. And I have to quit.
I like that.
Because I can't have that, and that's a bad sign. And I have a very strong tolerance, huge resiliency for that kind of shit. And I'm like, if it gets that bad, and that was the point, because I wanted more.
Yeah.
And it's probably, at this point, sun's up, it's probably 7 a.m.
Oh, boy.
I have a show that night. There's been no sleep.
Yeah.
I had a show every night. And then ended up in Camden, and at whatever it was, 10 o'clock, started to smoke crack, and I was still there. And I'm all money, like, yeah, I got money, here you go.
Oh,
what is
boy.
it, 50 pounds? Here's 50 pounds, and I got 50-pound notes, and I'm happy. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm in this filthy thing with strangers that I can barely understand them.
Are you guys talking, or is it just kind of silent?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
Can you describe what crack feels like? Because we have some if you need it.
it was it. It wasn't. Again, it wasn't hallucinogenic. It was the closest thing I can compare it to is kind of like a little bit of crystal meth, where you're not like totally jacked.
Yeah.
And you just everything has a little bit of a shine to it, and like everything's like, you know what, like if I ever had crystal or any kind of like meth or something like that, or like coke is like a not as good version of that.
Can I
It's
do
like
the scotch and
Paper
I want
plane.
to try the scotch.
Sorry.
what's paper plane?
Oh,
we
you've
got
never
our
had
own
one of these?
cocktail here.
No.
Let's make them a paper plane. It's
3 papers.
But also, I want to try the Glenmore. We have a scotch that our whiskey partner Christopher Hart sent in called Glenmore. It's from the 1970s.
Yeah.
So we want to try it. He sent us all kinds of cool shit. He sent us a bottle that was like rectangular that men would put in their briefcases.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's really cool old shit. Do you want to try the scotch?
I'll take a taste.
I just want
No
to try
pressure.
a little.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry, we
crack.
didn't mean to interrupt the
This
crack.
guy did crack.
So what happened
Yeah,
with the,
so yeah,
the show?
crack. It's an upper.
It just is the kind of thing like where, you know what, I'm just gonna hang in tonight, and then you do a little meth and you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go have a drink, and it just makes I have a tendency to be antisocial and just be like, nah, I'll hang in, and then I would just go out. Of course, this is a different person I'm describing. I was single. I was in New York. I wasn't married or didn't have a kid or any of that, and I was kind of on top of the world, and
Yeah.
you know, and I was in New York City with money. So,
Hell yeah.
it was a different circumstance. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it was similar to that.
Hey, to crack. I mean, as long as you don't get addicted, I say give it a shot, because I've always wanted to try heroin, but they say one will get you addicted.
That is smooth.
That's all right.
That's pretty good.
It's no bodega cat, but it's
Yeah,
not bad.
Not as good as our whiskey.
Yeah, we sell our own whisk.
Do you?
Yeah, we got our own hooch.
How do you do that? How did that happen?
We just said we wanted to make whiskey, and
A distributor hit us up.
yeah.
So you don't truly make it. You just
No,
We
we
just hawk it.
You
we
just got a
hawk it.
label.
We label
Yeah.
it.
You got a label, and you're selling
Yeah.
the label.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but we got a commercial
It
every
sounded
week.
like a bodega cat there. What the hell was that?
Little queef. But yeah, all right, so
That's a crazy story,
don't do
man.
crack, folks.
Yeah, don't
or
do
do
it.
it just once.
Just stop, just once, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. I would have kept doing it. It really. I get it. I mean, I get
Yes.
why people. It's terrible. It would just destroy people and families. And,
Sure.
And it's the kind of thing that you know. I imagine it's. You know, you're. If you're in the setting where you're doing crack and you don't know anybody, and it's dangerous, and you should be suspicious of everybody. But then you take that crack and that all goes away,
Right.
times 10.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's not like, oh man, this is really cool and interesting, or even like getting high where you're like, oh, you know, I'm just chill and relaxed and I'm enjoying this. I'm hearing things in this song that I didn't hear before. It's just, I can't really.
Just feel good.
It feels great. I was in a really weird, bleak, strange setting that, you know, as the sun came up, had a little bit of like, it's almost like after a one-night stand, you know, and you're not drunk anymore.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Been there.
But your friend Andy must have known he was putting you in a situation that could have ruined your life, right?
No, I
When he
went
took you to
into
that
it
back room.
willingly. It wasn't a surprise. He didn't like blindfold me and, you know, go.
Also, if he's willing to do it, he probably doesn't have the, you know, in the moment awareness, right? I would think.
I was totally willing to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, sure. And I'd never done it before. And I'm by nature, I'm a very curious person, and I'll try this thing, and I'll eat anything, and I'll try this once, and I'm one of those guys. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll take it. And I had a predilection for drugs too, and my responsibilities were to nobody but myself, and just
Yeah.
like, oh, I got a show in 22 hours, whatever,
Right.
you know, and
How was that show?
It was fine. It was
Yeah.
fine.
You mentioned the crack.
I probably.
I would assume.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, not like those '80s hacks in Boston. They wouldn't have said anything. Done the same act. But yeah, good for you. I mean, if you're gonna do crack, you know, you got no kids, you got no responsibilities. You're in.
As I said, this was
another
a long
country.
time ago. It was a different person.
Yeah.
I mean, if you offered me crack right now, of course I'd have to think about it. But I wouldn't.
Salamanca, bring it out.
I'm all out.
Well, what does it last? Like 2 hours, I'd say.
I don't know. I don't think that much.
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
I don't. I mean, we probably
Yeah, but you keep going. Is the
Yeah,
problem,
that's
right?
the problem.
probably bought. Oh gosh. Because we had to get it. It wasn't. The guy didn't have like a briefcase full of it. It was. But this guy was connected, and so I don't remember if somebody went out or somebody came to the door. I just don't remember.
'Cause I remember watching The Mole People. Remember that movie about the guys in the subway? And I was always like, how could they live like this? It's damp, it's rats, it's shooting in a
Dark
bucket.
Days?
Dark Days,
Yeah,
but they're all
yeah.
on crack.
Yeah.
So you can live anywhere. It's like you said with the
You can.
dishes
You
in
can.
the fish tank.
You know, it's like
That's
virtual
an-
reality.
That's an
Right?
image
It's like
that's
those
like
goggles.
That's an unforgettable image.
I know.
That's-
Yeah, I remember that quite well. It's one of the few things I remember outside of the you know, I have a vague overview of it, but one specific thing I remember is, oh, there's a fish tank, empty fish tank with dirty dishes.
That's impressive almost.
And also, it was such a small place. I mean, the whatever kitchen there might have been would have been one of those tiny,
Oh, yeah.
shitty, like a sink and a, I don't know. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty bleak. But I guess that was this. It's kind of similar to, you know, when there's a guy, whether they're like homeless or they're just indigent or whatever, on your your local guy
Yep.
or woman who's always hitting you up, and over the years does it, and it's that feeling of like, I've got just enough, and now I got enough money to get a cheese pizza, and this will hold me, and I'm just gonna sit
Yeah.
in my room, and then I'll come out when I need more money for another cheese pizza.
Well, that's the thing about meth. Is at least with the
What-
meth, you'd clean up, probably.
Yes. Oh, and you scrub to the.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, all life is precious.
There you go.
That's what I want you to take from this. All life is precious.
All right. Well, you hear that, Whitney Houston?
Probably not.
No, she
Ah,
doesn't.
I guess she
think.
didn't, but she liked the crack.
Man, first Gerard, now you. What's happening here? What?
did he drink
Oh,
it?
he went hard at her.
Another,
Oh, really?
No, I don't know.
Another beer.
That's
please.
a little
Thank
weird.
We got to ask a little bit of Arrested Development. I know it's a big
Oh,
change of
yeah.
gears here, but like,
Two
you know,
legendary comedies.
so I mean, such an insane cast to be a part of. I mean, that
Yeah.
was. I mean,
oh, that was so quickly. There are a handful of shows where you're like, the cast is perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine. Thank you so much. I can't imagine. You know, other people in those roles.
Right.
Like,
And Ron Howard directing. Or narrating.
Yeah, narrating.
Sorry.
It just, yeah, it was an amazing cast that kind of got pulled from every corner. And you think about, you know, nobody really knew who Michael Cera, Alia Shawkat were, and only, you know, I was, you know, under the radar, and nobody knew who Will was, and or Tony Hale.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, just it was pretty amazing.
just all heavyweights. Like everyone on that, and I mean, R.I.P. Jessica Walter, man, she was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
damn fun. Were you?
Oh, yeah.
Were you close with her at all on set or no?
I was not. I mean, not particularly close. I mean, we were all, you know, supportive of each other, and you know, we worked together for 5 years over the years, and you know, all that cliche shit about being a family is true. I mean,
Yeah.
you really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I mean, I'm still friendly with. I was just hanging out with Michael. You know, 4 or 5 nights ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, doing crack.
Nice, nice.
And Michael just had a kid.
Oh,
you know,
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show. I mean, it's on Netflix, so I just put it on, and it's so fun. It might have the most jokes per minute, maybe 30 Rock.
Yeah.
but it's up there with
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I gave you a
When it
follow
first
back, my
came
dude.
out, and you know, the internet was not new, but relatively we were kind of finding our way with it. But having to, I shouldn't say having to, but discovering jokes that I didn't realize were there
Yes.
through like chat rooms and stuff. The things that I didn't get when we were shooting
Wow.
it or watching it later. Like
That's
it didn't
insane.
occur to me that, yeah, you know, either conceptually or something
Right.
that, you know, was planted in one episode and then paid off a season later in another episode, shit like that.
There's a documentary about the show and like people who love the show, and they have shit in there that they talk to the writers, and half of it I missed on the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
incredible.
down not just the regular cast, but down to like Carl Weathers. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Get
It's
yourself a soup.
yeah, yeah, amazing.
And Henry Winkler. Yeah,
Oh
everybody's
my
in it.
God, yeah,
Quite a cast.
yeah,
Will Arnett.
yeah,
Doesn't get any funnier than that.
yeah, man.
That's it's one of those things I think about, like, because they were struggling to find Job. When they first brought it to me, they asked me to look at Job, and I had no handle on Job at all.
Mm-hmm.
But then you watch Will, and you're like, oh, of course,
Yeah.
that's it.
He
That's
nailed
Job. Who else? There's no one else that
No.
would be
No.
Job, you know. And Tony Hale. I mean, just all of it across the board, you know.
Are you
Great.
are you still consuming comedy as a comedy guy, or are you kind of like, I just go out and do my shows and I go home?
Well, probably less intensely than I used to, but I mean, I'm still hunting for the dark, cringy British comedies, which are many.
Peep show.
Yeah, and you know, occasionally we'll see
Thank you.
Thank you.
a name on the Netflix algorithm or something. You know, there'll be thank you.
No pressure.
I'll take a sip.
All right.
See how it is. And I'll check that person out, you know.
Yeah.
Or something, you know, somebody that the kids are talking about. I'll go and check them out. A guy named, I don't know if I'm going to get this right, Sam Morrell, who, you know, I
I didn't know if you.
oh,
were
there
like
he
that.
is. He's up on
Oh,
the
there
thing.
he
There he
is.
is.
Oh,
Yeah, there
that
you go.
guy. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually watching this show currently. I'm almost at the very end of the first season, and I'm really digging it. British show called I Hate Susie. It's good. Yeah,
Oh,
it's really
really?
good, and also just right up my alley. It's, you know, takes its time. It's got some really cringe moments, but they're willing to kind of explore the characters. It's good.
She kind of gets canceled online.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah, that show is great.
And it starts off like that. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing just hits the gas running, which is there's another British show
I'll watch
called,
it.
You feel it too.
They did an
you're-
American version, but the British show Shameless
Oh yeah.
is great. I mean, check out the British version, but that show, I mean, it starts. It just boom. The
Yeah.
story's going.
Is it similar to the American? I've seen the American.
Haven't seen the American. I read the
Okay.
script for it, and I remember being disappointed that it took place in Chicago. Which one of the great things about the British show is it's all, almost all of it, at least for the first couple seasons, are just take place in this council flat in Manchester, and there's a pub, you know, that they all go to, and there's like a little off-license bodega type place that they go to, but it feels like they're trapped there, and I was like, they put it in Chicago, and like you can escape in any way
Right. Good point.
easily. You can get on the L train,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, and
And the American version is kind of dramatic. It's more like family lovey-dovey, where this seems more like a comedy.
it's comedy. I mean, there's some moments of poignancy to it, but I highly recommend it. That's a show that just, I mean, starts and great cast. Also
Okay.
another great
I'm gonna
cast.
check these out. What are there like comfort watches for you on the road that you just revisit? Is there stuff that you're like, this is my road
I
thing?
never watch TV on the road.
Really?
I go, no, I mean, my show, I'm doing like 2 hours. And
Wow, that's long.
yeah, it's indulgent, and I shouldn't. And at some point, we'll see how it works out with an opener. Because usually I go out and I just do like an hour and like, let's say, an hour and a half, and then I'll come out for like an encore, sometimes a second encore, and by then I'm kind of, half in the bag, and I'm just sort of shooting the shit and loving it. You know what it's like when you're on stage and you just kill it.
Oh,
Like,
we dick around at the end too, but it's
Yeah.
usually like, give us a current topic and we just riff,
exactly.
whatever. Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing that I got a Sean opening. It's going to make me be a little more
tighter.
How long do you have him do?
Just 15.
So that's one bit.
Well, I'm kind of similar. My bits are long.
Oh,
man.
yeah?
When people are like, "Can you do 5 minutes?" Like, no. Like, I can do 12 seconds, or I have plenty of like little jokey things, or I can do 9 minutes.
So
but-
do you get the guy like, oh, I want to see Tobias, and now you're talking about politics?
Oh, not so. I mean, my 2016 tour, or was it 16? Whatever it was Make America Great Again. I want to say that was 16. That one had a bunch of people like would walk out. All the time.
Really?
Yeah, on the whole tour. I mean, I can count on one hand the shows, not including Europe, that people walked out, and sometimes angrily, sometimes really did not care for. But
Was there a joke that walked them, or was it?
just enough with anti-Trump or Republicans or Catholic bashing or whatever it was that they didn't like.
Right.
I'm not Mormon, but I'm not going to stand here and listen to you badmouth Mormons or whatever.
That's usually who's most offended is people that aren't the thing you're talking about.
It's true. On behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that. I've never seen on behalf of another religion. That's a new one.
Yeah.
But
I'm projecting,
yeah.
assuming that, but not so much anymore. Occasionally, I just did this little kind of mini tour to get ready for this bigger tour I'm doing in March, and everything was great. Like, sold out. Everything was sold out. It was awesome. But there were two. There was Washington D.C. and Birmingham, Alabama, I think was the other one, where, and it happens, friends of friends are like, hey, we got tickets to the guy from Just Shoot Me, or did you ever see Men in Black? Well, that guy, whatever the thing was, and
I forgot about that.
and that's how they know me, and they don't even, it's not that they know me and they're excited, it's just like, you could tell somebody brought them.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
part of a night, and people aren't like furious, they're just like, it would be the same thing if you went to an evening of white Christian nationalist racist comedy. You'd be like, yeah, it's not for me. I'm leaving.
Speak for yourself.
It would be interesting to watch that, though, just to see
Well,
what the hell they do.
you
for
dealt
an
with this
hour.
when you opened for JB Smooth. Remember?
Yeah.
There were people that were mad he wasn't Leon.
Yes, there
From
was a
Curves.
lot of yarmulkes out there
Yeah.
walking out.
Oh, this is nice.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Paper plane.
I
our
feel like
drink.
we've kind of jump-started the popularity for this. We're getting tagged in this constantly.
Wait, I want to go back. So, people would go see JB Smooth.
Yeah, in the heart of Curb, and he would come out to ba ba da ba da ba da, and it's all these Jewish people going nuts.
Yeah.
And then he would talk about eating pussy for half an hour.
What the fuck are they thinking?
I
What are
know.
they thinking?
'Cause he's
I have zero sympathy for those folks.
Oh no, I
No,
didn't
no,
care.
but it's just a weird. I mean, it's annoying for JB to deal with.
yeah, but it was a white crowd for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I thought
He's
was
a really funny guy. though.
hilarious.
Yeah, I knew him way back in the day, way before Curved. I can't remember from what, but yeah, like L.A. Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
Well, he has that old story about how he was driving from St. Louis to another gig in a snowstorm, and he had like $8 to his name, and then he got the call, like, you got curb, and he was like, I was about to be on food stamps, and it just saved his life.
Yeah.
He was just like a road dog.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy too.
Good guy.
Yeah.
I told you, I opened for McCaroline's. He's murdering. I leave to go get a beer. I come back, and he's climbing the diamond on the wall. That's how high energy he was.
Yeah. Are there any comics starting out that you were like, oh shit, this guy's awesome, I gotta kick it up? Or like when you were in the 90s or whatever, we were like, this is the dude
That were peers of mine?
peers or people that you just looked up to?
Well, I mean, yeah, they're like the people that, and we had a, you know, as you guys know, it's a very, very supportive group of people. I mean, there's you don't get this kind of jealousy that you find in other aspects of the arts. You don't find like backstabbing. You don't, you know, at least my experience is people are really supportive of each other, and it's one of those things that everyone can kind of relate to an actor's situation, whether it's good or bad, but even if they're not an actor. But with stand-up, everyone has that thing in the back of their head, like, you truly don't know what this is like unless you do it.
Oh, yeah.
And you do it a lot. And you will have really high highs and really low lows. And it's just not that applicable to other things you do in life. And so, you know, my peers who I really looked up to, and I wanted, like, it meant the world to me if they liked something or they gave me constructive criticism, but it was couched in, like, you know, this is really good, but I think you need to do this. I mean, people like, you know, people I mentioned before, like, you know, Louis and Janine and like great joke writers like Laura Keitlinger. I mean, just great joke writers, and Sarah Silverman and Dave Attell and you know, that whole group of people, and we were all friends too, you know.
Yeah.
And then coming out, and the people I looked up to, like when I was a kid, it was, you know, Richard Pryor and Steve Martin, and then later Stephen Wright and Bill Hicks, and you know, people I got to meet.
Yeah.
Which was a thrill. And you know, Gallagher too. Not his brother.
I was waiting for one.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing about comedy is, like, I could see you opening for Bill Hicks, and he'd be like, this guy's weird, or this guy's a little off the wall. But the cool thing about comedy is if it's good, you'll get a show. You know, like, you can be seen as off the wall by one guy, and then another person can be like, this guy's brilliant. You know, you still made it.
Yeah, there was this. This is quite tracking with what you were saying, but it's similar in that when I was younger and I was taking whatever work I could get, you know, when I was you know, still in Atlanta, which is where I started.
Was the Punchline the club there at the time?
Yeah, Punchline in Sandy Springs, and now there is still Punchline, but it's moved. I think it's in
Connected to a diner.
Yeah.
You hear
this
that
is the
cash register
original-
during your set.
Milkshake machine.
You see the Jello in the little thing.
Yeah. And the glass.
But there was shit. What was I going to say? I lost my.
Starting in Atlanta.
the drinks are
Atlanta,
kicking in.
starting out, you take all the work you can get.
Oh yeah. When I'd go out and I would do, you know, I was opening. I wasn't even middling. I was just opening for various people. And some I connected with immediately. Some I did not. But if I hadn't seen the headliners act yet, and I came off stage, and then they would say like, "Man, you got some balls, kid," then I knew they were gonna suck. And that's almost 100% of the time.
Wow.
That was a good arbiter of what their act was going to be. When
I
they
can't
went
believe Cosby said that.
Boy, I tell you, you got some guts, kid.
Or you get one of these.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. But do you remember opening for anyone that you were like, Oh, that's a fucking killer. Like in Atlanta, someone that like give you a kick in the butt. Like, oh, this is what it's like to be a headliner.
Because that was a room, that punchline. That old one?
My gosh, no. Not really. And that's just luck. That's just, there were so many people coming through. And there were two main clubs there. There was Punchline and the Comedy Spot, which isn't there anymore. And yeah, I didn't have the luck of, but we'd also go. We'd go when we weren't working and sit and try to get half-price drinks or whatever and sit at the bar and just watch comedy. But nobody that kind of kicked my ass like that. In Boston, yes. When I got up to Boston, there were many people who
were you seeing Stephen Wright when you just got there?
I never saw him do stand-up. No, he's actually in somewhat. He was responsible for his manager. So, Lauren Dabrowski, who unfortunately isn't with us anymore, who was part of my sketch group. She was a stand-up, again, a foot in both worlds. I had this sketch group there, and then she went on to be the head writer for Mad TV eventually, but she died of cancer, unfortunately. But she was good friends with Stephen Wright, brought Stephen Wright to see me do stand-up, because my stand-up was, weird and edgy and whatever, but also raw, like really unrefined, and still finding my voice and figuring things out. And he convinced his manager to come up from New York.
Wow.
And that at that point, our manager, only had 3 clients. It was him, Tom Kenny, and Michael O'Donoghue, who's also not with us, was a writer on SNL, the original.
Tom Kenny of SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Oh.
And in so many Mr. Show sketches, yeah.
And he convinced. So he came out and saw me. He convinced Tim Sarkis to come up to come up to Boston, and then he basically signed me, and that put me on this path that brought me to West 39th Street.
Wow, there you go.
Wow, Stephen Wright, man.
Damn, what a guy.
That's
Paper
cool.
Plane. Why is it called Paper Plane?
Beer Jew?
Oh, it's an old drink.
This guy in Chicago in the 80s invented it. It was based on prohibition style drinks. It was made in the 80s, just using the same proportions. And I'm not sure exactly why he called it beer plane. There doesn't really seem to be any history behind it. Most drink history is just
That's-
living anyway.
Yeah, that sounded cool.
It probably started out as one thing, and then by the third drink became a completely different thing. So history's a little suspect.
We got these fun facts too about the Glenmore whiskey, the '70s bottle from our whiskey
fun!
partner.
I love fun.
Well, he said there used to be an
Fun
agreement.
stuff you got.
There used to be an agreement never to use women to sell whiskey, and Glenmore was the first whiskey to say fuck that and use women and sex
Who
to
was
sell
the
whiskey.
who was the agreement?
I don't know. I guess they just didn't. It was an unwritten
Guys?
rule, I guess.
Some guys in Scotland.
Yeah.
That's what they say. It's owned currently by the same company that makes Pappy. So
Pappy Van Winkle.
good
Also,
stuff.
I hate to shit on your story, but
Uh-oh, we got the paper
says
plane.
that it was someone came up with it in 2007 and based the name off the MIA song "Paper Planes."
No,
that's not.
Get
That's
out
not
of
even
here.
remotely.
That's
This
what
is
the internet
old.
says.
This is
Wait, hold on.
I saw it in 2 places.
I got a third one that it's 2001 and it's after 9/11.
There we go.
Sorry.
It also says here 2007. And the
That's
wiki,
too late. This is an old drink.
he said modeled after an old drink.
Oh.
For an old drink, but I'm pretty sure it was made in Chicago in the 80s.
This is my favorite new cocktail that you've made us.
Yeah.
You've made us a lot of good shit. But
These
this
are
is-
some really fun facts.
Yeah.
We lost David officially. It was a good run.
Fun stuff. Fun.
This kind of drink, though, is like it's all equal parts. And the reason that Prohibition cocktails were always all equal parts was because cocktail recipe books were seen as paraphernalia. And arrested for just having the recipe books on them.
How do you like that?
And write them down, so they made all the drinks very simple. So it would be like equal parts of each.
I see.
Remember what alcohol to put in, and equal parts.
With going it makes sense, but going by that logic, at some point you're just going like, just throwing shit in the glass, right?
But that's how a lot of drinks were made, right?
But that's why cocktails became so popular
Yeah.
during and after Prohibition, because they didn't have quality alcohol. So you couldn't drink it. You can't drink
Oh,
mix it with other liqueurs.
that's interesting.
Before Prohibition, whiskey was made legally in the United States. Everybody just drank whiskey maybe with a little water.
Right.
Very like well made.
Yeah,
Start making your bathtubs with half of the cut it something.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tried some whiskey that was made in a fish tank, and it tasted like plates. It was awful. But no, it's interesting. I mean, this and Corpse Reviver number 4, I think, are my favorite ones.
I don't
you
remember
made,
that
so,
one.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have to see I've only had the first one, so I have to,
Yeah, man. Do you have any pet peeves? Anything just bothering you?
I do.
Aha.
Can I take a piss first?
Please take a
Please.
piss. Yeah, let's
Just
pause
take a little
it.
break.
show the man where the urine is.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When life gets you feeling overwhelmed, working with a therapist can make you feel more prepared and take on everything that life throws at you. I think therapy is very important. I'm in it. Mark is in it. BetterHelp is the therapy option that's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. You fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Easy! If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/drunk today to get 10% off your first month. That's HELP. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/drunk.
Hey, folks, feel like your best self in 2023 with Liquid IV. I got about 9,000 bags of this stuff. I got to bring it in here because we're putting the booze down. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than water alone. My favorite flavor is the strawberry. Very good, tastes good, goes down easy. Use it first thing in the morning before a workout when you feel run down, or after a long night out, or on long flights. I love it. I drink a lot. We both do, so might as well put one in you. Get those vitamins and nutrients going, because Lord knows that poison will take it out of you. Free from gluten, dairy, and soy, it contains the 3 electrolytes, 3 times the electrolytes as traditional sports drinks. Uses cellular transport technologies designed to enhance rapid absorption of water and other key ingredients into the bloodstream, baby. Grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code DRUNK at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop. Better hydration today using promo code DRUNK at liquidiv.com.
Tell your Valentine to skip the chocolate, roses, and romantic music this year. All you want for Valentine's is Displate. Get your own artwork printed on a one-of-a-kind metal poster that takes 20 seconds to install.
Oh, wow.
Look at this bad boy. Oh, my God. Good poster. Really seems to care.
Triple Lindy.
Oh, my God. Love that. 20 seconds to install here. They have millions of designs available and officially licensed designs from Star Wars, Netflix, Call of Duty, and more. I mean, look at this. This is perfect. You get Rodney Sweeps behind doing that Lindy.
Yeah,
Love it.
you're a melon.
Oh, I'll tell you. You're all right. You're all right. Your poster comes with a magnetic sticker, so you can just pop it on the wall and hang your poster. No power tools, no wall damage. Easily switch out a new poster in seconds. Click the link in our description to see some of our favorites and get yours ready to hang a piece of art. Save 22% if you buy 1 or 2. 33% off if you buy 3 or more. Discounts will automatically be applied to your cart when you click the link, or use code DRUNK when you visit displate.com. That's displate.com, code DRUNK, or click the link in our show notes. Ooh, yeah, Dave, do you have peeves?
I do. One of the I have a couple. I have many.
Please.
And the first 2 are kind of attendant with each other, but I really despise angry, like 0 to 60 want to hit, want to punch, or just knock with my elbow. The people who come out of the subway and then stop right there and then get on their phone to look for where they are or whatever. The people you run up the steps, and then they just stop right there.
Yes.
And it's infuriating, and that's not just a New York thing. I've seen that everywhere, where people you come off and they just stop, like, oh, look at where am I? Do I go this way or this way? Let me adjust my phone, and
Yep.
It's not just directions. I think it's like an addiction too, that they just like they went up steps and they needed to just look at a text.
Whatever it is, just
Yeah.
like fucking move.
Move. There's a
hate it.
million spots you could stand.
Kind of similar is, and they're both the idea is like I'm not thinking about other people.
Yes.
And it's the when you're in a line, it can be small, it can be long, at a place to order something. When you get to the front of that line, or whatever that thing is,
Deli.
deli, sure, coffee place, whatever the thing is, and the menu's right up there. There's no mystery. There's nothing's hidden, and then there's a long line. You've been in it,
Right.
and there's 9 people behind you, and then you get up there like, yes, oh gosh, oh my goodness, which one is, I think I want, is anything,
Yeah.
I guess I'll get the macchiato. Do I want large or small? I don't, that's fucking like,
That's crazy.
You've had all motherfucking day to figure it out.
Huge peeve of mine too, and this is the bigger peeve. It's not a long line, but it's a line of one person who takes forever.
Yeah.
It's a long line, at least. If
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
you
totally.
got, it's just the one person who.
Yeah.
And that one person has been in line and watched people go up there.
Yep.
And it also speaks to just a general. That person is just not aware of other people and what they might be dealing with. Like,
Totally.
and they're probably the first person to be like, "Hey, asshole, I'm trying to do this thing." you know? And
I hate that shit. That happened. You were just in Nashville. We went to Hattie B's last time we were there, and I was like, I want the experience. The clubs that they get it for us.
And also, Hattie B's you have a minimum. There's not a huge menu.
Exactly.
right.
So
It's
fucking
the
figure
hot
it out.
chicken. That's
Yeah.
where you get. You want a sandwich or a breast?
Yeah.
Right.
But we're in line for a fucking hour. The clubs that they get it for us, I'm like, no, I want to go. I want to do the experience.
It's
Wait
fun.
in line for an hour. We get to the front. 6 women in front of us. They don't order together. They all pay single.
Ah.
And on top of it, they all were like,
Yeah.
That is
Nightmare.
made us. We
infuriating.
would laugh. We weren't even mad. It was so annoying. We started laughing.
Yeah.
That's infuriating.
Yeah.
But you want to just go, I know what I want. Let me go ahead of you. But they never do. They like the window. They like that moment.
It's just not considerate of other people.
No.
And there's this thing, there's this entitlement of like, well, I waited in line for an hour, so I'm going to take my time.
Yeah,
As opposed
exactly.
to, hey, man, this is a long wait. I'm going to make sure everybody else has,
Right.
slightly better experience,
That's the only good thing about the airport. You go to the airport and they're like, laptop out, shoes off, belt, pockets empty, and there's always someone who gets up there and is like, do I take a laptop out? And that's why they keep saying it, which is annoying, but they have to do it.
That's a pet peeve, actually, is not that in itself, but the attitude that some of the TSA people have. And
You've got clear and pre-check though.
I've pre-check. I don't have clear, but that's enough. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing where they kind of like are exasperated and roll their eyes, like, people take your laptops out and like, hey, dude, none of us here. We're all complying. You don't have to give this attitude. Nobody here has gone. I'm sorry. I've never flown before, and the whole thing is mystifying. But nobody's doing that. First of all, we're all in pre-check or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, but this attitude, like, people, listen to me. Put your okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
Right.
Yeah, the later boarding groups too. You don't want to be. That's why you want to be in the early boarding groups, not just to get on the flight, but those are the people that usually know what the fuck they're doing. So when you're boarding late, like you ever miss a connection, you're
yeah.
boarding late. These people are like, "Wait, what do I do?" I'm like, "You've never been on a plane?"
I know. Well, I think we can get away with let's get rid of the safety thing on the plane. We've all heard it, and no one's listening anyway. Everyone's got their earbuds.
I get really annoyed when I was watching the Giants playoffs game.
They mute the show.
It was a fucking good game, and they go, "Guys, this is the seatbelt," and I'm like, "Dude, it's fucking."
We know it. And they
It's the
make it
playoffs.
long. They make it long on purpose. It's like, don't tamper, don't fuck with, don't play with, don't smoke. You're like,
Have
yeah,
you thought
we got it.
of petitioning the FAA and seeing if like when there's a playoff game? We're all aware.
I write it every time.
Beat it up.
They always go, do you have a? We would fill out the survey, and I always write announcements. Too many announcements. I write it.
You
every
fill
time.
that out?
Every time.
Wow.
I just write that. That's all I write, and I push send. Then I send a dick.
That's
pic.
like what my mom says to do. She's like, you should write a letter.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening anymore.
She meant like long form. Like,
Yeah. Oh, she
Yeah.
really did.
Write your
Dear
congressman.
Delta Airlines. Well, you've done it again.
But yeah, that's a good peeve. I'm up there. I saw a guy looking at TikTok in the turnstile, like literally, like kind of leaning on it. There's 4 turnstiles. He had one of them.
Yeah, that's pretty awful. You know what I saw on the turnstile? A guy was ripping his fucking tooth out. I don't know what drug he was on, but he's ripping his tooth out. And this is meth. And everyone on the
Toothfairy. Toothfairy will give me one last hit. Okay. Where's that tooth fairy?
but everyone was like, "What the fuck?" But not in a compassionate way. They were like, "You're blocking the fucking thing."
Right.
It's the most New York shit ever. Where they're just like, "Dude,
All right, I'm sorry.
Rip it
but
off in
what
the corner.
What compassion are you going to show a guy who's ripping off his tooth?
poor guy, you ripped your tooth out."
No, and I don't mean this. I know it came off that way, and I should so, but what kind of compassion would you show him? What would you do?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, you can
Something.
do the tooth 2 feet away. Go sit on the bench and do the tooth.
Aw.
Something. I don't know. It was. That's a dark thing. You see so much dark shit in this city.
Yeah.
It's
But
you know.
It happens. It's out there. You can't avoid it. But that's what makes the city the city.
Another subway peeve is the guys who try to get off before you get on, or they try to get on before you get off, rather.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
huge
I
thing.
think people are better about that though than. I think people are pretty good about that, more than my memory of the past. That seems to be something that's been instilled in people.
Yeah.
You still have it.
Yeah.
But to me, there's way less of that than there used to be. It used to be really kind of every man for himself, and I think there's a little bit of that kind of general, collective consciousness of it.
Yeah.
It isn't as bad to me as it used to be.
Since we're doing subways, there's like a huge uptick in people smoking on the trains now.
I've
Have you
seen
noticed?
that.
It's insane. Like when I was a kid, like that would be like an immediate like cops would jump on you.
Yeah.
They would beat you. And now it's just a regular thing. I see
never
people
bothers me.
I haven't seen anybody
smoking on a train.
I see it a good
I've
amount.
seen people get high and kind of like try to hide it a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't
Oh.
seen like real blatant stuff. I saw a girl a couple days ago vaping, which is its own thing.
Yeah, that's everywhere.
But yeah, I haven't seen anybody smoking on that.
Vaping is
Yeah, I
kind
see
of.
a
I
lot
don't
of
vape, but like whenever I'm drunk and around someone
But
who's
you
got
get it.
one, it's
You
kind of
get it.
fun because you take a hit and you're like banana walnut. It's kind of fun. It kind of feels
God,
good.
it's
Vape
disgusting,
apologist.
man. The whole thing.
It's disgusting, but when you're wasted, it does kind of feel good. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's fun to suck in and blow out smoke.
It is.
It's fun. Yeah.
Feel about Showtime with drinks.
Oh, I
mean,
hate
you know,
Showtime. I get
has
it.
anyone-
Totally
They're-
depends.
They're trying to make a living,
Completely
but
depends.
Don't understand why do you think you should, like, anybody would give you money when you almost kick them in the face on when they're-
Because it works.
Well, the
because
doors
it
are
works. There's
closed,
enough.
too.
There's enough tourists who were delighted by that. They got their story.
Every single one of them, like, gives them, I'm like, dude, take it, please. I'm happy that you were like getting some cash. Take it up
But-
the street, not in like a tiny space.
But there's some people who are really good, and it's interesting.
they're very good.
I don't care for the phoning it in mariachi guys. I don't like anybody's phoning it in. But there's been some interesting, like, oh, that's cool.
The troops are annoying, but I remember troops, like the dance troupe.
Oh, I
But,
thought you meant the army.
But fuck the troops, dude. No, the dance troops when they come on. I remember I bombed a Montreal audition. I was like a young comic, and my heart was broken. I was like, I want to go. It was the year we both thought we both wanted it
yeah.
so bad, and we didn't get it. And I was on the train afterwards, just like hating myself. I'm like, man, my jokes stunk. And I was feeling so low, and a dance troupe came on, and the dude was just in my face, dancing around me, and it broke me, and I started laughing. And it actually put me in a good mood.
Oh, that's nice.
Because when you're that low, you're just kind of like, you know.
I saw a baby crying, and the mom couldn't shut the kid up, and a guy dressed as a clown, which we were all terrified of, but he went up to the baby and did like a balloon animal thing, and then the baby loved it, and the mom was like, here's $20, thank you.
What?
Yeah, it was huge.
Damn.
I'll tell you what's crazy that I could never do, ever, are the guys, and they're not necessarily that funny, but the commitment and the energy.
Sushi sucking. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to
talent to
Thanks, man.
go to Washington Square Park.
Nice
put
indeed.
your little speaker down, get your mic, and just do stand up.
Balls.
That's
Well,
fucking
comics.
balls.
Who's the guy? Was it Charlie Barrett?
Charlie
Barrett? What was his name?
Charlie Barrett. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Barrett.
He,
Was it
well,
Barrett?
he was like the Eddie Murphy before Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. got a
No,
lot
it was
from-
Charlie Barrett who was the guy in Washington Square Park. In
Yeah.
the, like 80s, 90s.
Is it
right?
Barrett?
I think it was.
I think you're
I
right.
don't think it was Barrett.
Am I wrong?
And he's dead. He's
Yeah.
I do a lot of
Chappelle
damage.
said he would study him. Charlie Barnett.
Barnett. Yes,
So,
Barnett.
Yeah.
But like that is,
balls.
I mean, that's just a skill I don't have.
Well, you
at
got to be
all,
very
not even
broad
close.
too.
And you have to be enthusiastic.
Yeah, yeah, that's
you do have
true.
to be kind
What
of
a
like
long match.
I mean, you're like
Glowly
crowd
promoted actor.
pleasery-ish.
Also
I mean,
on.
it's
You
like
got to hit everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, but he's got some clips online, and you watch, you're like, this guy's funny. He is funny.
It's almost like the freestyling, like rap guys. who
Yes.
go and you're like, whoa, where's that? How are you able to do this? Like just, you know.
It's so cool. I mean, we talk about Marlon Craft a lot because Matt introduced me to a young rapper, and he has so many songs. It's a whole different thing, but you hear these lyrics, and they're like jokes. I mean, the way they have to like put
Yeah,
together these words, and
You ever
it's
see
so
that
clever.
the
Oh, yeah.
old stuff of Biggie?
No.
Like freestyling, little rap battle, like impromptu type things.
Really?
And it's just a skill. It's like, holy shit.
How
Oh,
do they
dude,
do
it's
that?
so
How do they
witty.
Come
I
up
mean,
with that shit. Oh, there it is.
Check this out.
yeah.
He's probably like, he's 17.
17.
He's not even that big yet. No, I love when the guy caves. He's like, that's the best.
Yeah, that's like a talent that like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
to have
I mean,
the-
there are people taking 20 minutes to do Wordle. I mean, it's pretty.
But to have the voice, the confidence, the beat,
Yeah.
like, the wit. I mean, you just have to have everything.
It's like race car driving, where you have to have such low heart rate because you have to keep thinking of shit and not get panicked. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean that's it's crazy.
I've
It's
always said, and thank you for bringing this up. I've always said, freestyle rapping is, you know, really the same thing as like, you know, race car driving.
Well, I'm just saying, you got to be able to just shut down. Otherwise, you're just like, oh my god, I need another line. What's my next line? And you panic. You have to have just be that confident and.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh come on.
It's crazy. Tupac and Biggie, they both died at 25.
25? No.
Well, how old were they? It's insanely young. How they both died at a crazy young age. How old was it?
24.
24.
Whoa,
Tupac
he
had
did
to
a
be older.
lot.
That's insane to have the body of work he had and die at 24.
Yeah, and the
And
body.
Pac was 25.
Yeah, that's
You're
What?
right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's like that's unreal.
Wow.
And Tupac has an insane catalog. He has so many fucking albums.
Yeah.
I know.
And movies.
Younger
Yeah.
than Jesus.
Jeez, man. I mean,
There's the 27 Club, too. They didn't even get that far.
yeah.
What is that? Joplin? Cobain?
Cobain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hendrix.
Yeah. Hicks? No, Hicks was 30.
No,
32,
Hicks
I
is
think.
older.
32 or 33.
I think you're right. 33.
That's like the Jesus Club or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't know.
Amy
Throat
Winehouse.
cancer. Winehouse. There we go.
That one's tragic as fuck.
They got a lot done. It makes you really feel. I didn't do Conan until I was 29.
When you dabbed.
And even that doesn't mean much.
No, it was a big deal for
To
me.
us, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
We're different comedy classes, you know. Like that, to us, Conan was a big deal.
Well, wait, I didn't do. That was my first. Hang on.
Late night.
That was my first late night thing, and I didn't do that until I was 30. Shit.
Yeah, but you had a TV show.
I might have. Yeah, I mean, it would have been because of that, but just barely.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Did you ever do stand up on late night, or was it always panel?
Yeah, I did stand up on, and I
Oh,
got.
wow.
In fact, we talked about it because I did my very first stand up set. That wasn't like Evening at the Improv or one of those terrible. I did a couple of those. They were terrible.
Oh, really? Wow.
Really bad. Really.
Do you remember who you were on with?
I know John Biner was the
Oh,
host.
yeah.
There was Comedy on the Road. I did that twice, and I did Evening at the Improv. I don't remember, but it was they were weird and anyway. But I did Conan. That was my first like legit late night thing.
Pull it up.
And
Oh,
then,
that's
I don't know if this is it. There's so many.
That's panel.
but we did one panel after I've done Conan 14 times, and we talked about my. So they cut a bit that had been cleared, and you do it's what it it's like 5 minutes and 12 seconds is what you get, and they cut a whole bit that had been cleared, and then it was one of the last Conan shows before he left, and I think it might have been the one. It was on TBS and it was just him and Andy, and you sit around. And he was kind of apologetic about it, and said, there was some recrimination there, like we cut you, we shouldn't have cut you, but years and years and years and years later, he addressed it, but it was weird because I went on, I started, and then there's a very strange edit that you wouldn't see in TV. You would just never see it, where it's like there's a laugh and then it jump cuts to here going, and another thing is it's just weird. It was clearly covering something up, but they cut the first TV appearance. They cut a bit.
Damn, that's crazy to cut it that late if they approve it.
Yep, they approved it. They knew what the set was.
Was it about a fucking
Fuck that
baby?
baby.
Yeah.
No, it was about we don't know what Jesus Christ sounded like, and he could have sounded like an effeminate Southern man.
Oh, that's why.
And then I just did Jesus as an effeminate.
Oh, that's great. I turned water into wine,
Yeah, it was, yes.
basically. All right. Well, shit. At least you can still do it in your act. It's not on TV.
Well, yeah, it's on. It exists somewhere, I think. But
What year was Shut Up You Fucking Baby? Because that was big.
Yeah, 2001. No, it was right after, because I have jokes about 9/11.
Yeah, you had the
2002.
the improv troupe, right, about 9/11.
Oh, Salted Nuts.
Yeah.
Well,
Salted Nuts.
there's the thing about Gabriel, which is the name I gave this guy who I saw rollerblading with a gas mask. That's all true. That is
really?
Literally, yeah. I do not lie or make shit up and say it's true. When I say something's true, it's true. And and it was the day after, I think, and I mean, just the whole fucking city is traumatized.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And there's the 14th Street tanks and armed.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. And on Houston Street, so I went out. The whole day and the night was surreal and bizarre, and everybody was dealing with it in their own way. And,
Oh my
and there was,
fucking god! The one time
it was
I
all unknown. We didn't know what was happening. What
Holy
would
shit.
tomorrow bring? What awfulness is happening? People still couldn't get in touch with cell phone towers were down,
Right.
and all kinds of crazy shit. But nobody knew. You can look back on it and go, yeah, it was some crazy times, and the first week was weird. But the mindset, kind of like the beginning of COVID, all we're hearing is sirens and there's body bags. You know, you don't know what's happening the next day, and you don't know what you're waking up to and what kind of world you're waking up to, what kind of New York City. And I'm just walking around. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess just sort of seeing what else is out there. And this guy is coming up from the west side, going west to east on rollerblades. A loud gay, I would imagine. Sunglasses. No, sorry, not sunglasses, but gas mask. And then, like threw on his whatever early aughts tight short rollerblade disco fucking outfit, and he's attitude, like real severe attitude. I can see he's coming up house, and there's no traffic, obviously there's no cars, nothing, and he's fucking coming up with determination.
That's New York. That gives you hope.
Yeah, but that was a bit that became famous from Shut Up You Fucking Baby. That's all true.
Yeah.
It's all,
You were here 9/11.
Yeah, I remember leaving school. We had to leave school early. My dad came to pick me up. He was like, "Yeah, we're under attack." I was like, "Oh,
what? Where were you?
Midtown. I went to high school in Midtown, and then my dad. We got a pop quiz that day. Actually, our teacher. We got bombed. We got attacked. Not bombed.
Wait. Your school continued?
Yeah.
What?
We had a Spanish teacher give us a pop quiz, and all of us were like, "Fuck you! We're not taking. We think we're under attack."
Yeah.
Wait a fucking second here. When
Yeah.
was? What time
How
of
old
day?
was I?
No, what?
Oh,
when-
it was the morning. It was one of the early classes. No, we ended up leaving, but I mean, it went on for a minute. We didn't know what happened yet, but then there was also, I don't know if people remember. You probably remember. We didn't get cell phone service back then.
No.
So
Yeah, towers were out.
Everything was ours. I was trying to call my
Yeah.
parents. We didn't know. I had friends like.
No,
were like, I don't-
there was no cell phone service.
Yeah, it was-
and
And then I remember my family. We all lined up to donate blood and stuff at hospitals, but they were like, "We're good." Literally every New Yorker's done this. It was a pretty crazy moment.
Wow.
I have similar memories of that, and I remember when we did, because I did talk to people that evening, because I remember going up to my roof, and I apparently had this real breakdown, and a girl that was a friend of mine that wasn't a girlfriend at the time, used to be able, we were still close, I said, "I saved your message." And I was like sobbing and all this stuff, and I think I just sort of lost it after a full day of that stuff. And I have all kinds of, I'm not gonna go into it now, but the disconnect between, I had a friend who was in Harlem, and the attitude he had in talking to him and what people were experiencing like below 14th Street was just, he might as well have been in Alaska.
Right.
He's in Harlem. He's in the same borough, same island. And just like asking questions like, my mom would ask, like, "Hey man, so what's going on?" Or just general questions like, I can't remember, but like, so I mean, do you guys have electricity, or what's going on? And is anybody hurt, or just weird things like he's literally up on 125th Street, and it's just a different world down here.
It is.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I watched it from my roof in Chinatown, and when that first tower collapsed, it was the only time in my whole life my knees gave out. I didn't know what that expression meant before, but I literally, I fell.
Really?
And I couldn't control that.
My dad worked in Times Square, so we saw the second plane hit. So he watched. That was like the craziest. It was the craziest day. I think about thank God you got a great joke. That shit was part of healing. Like, is laughing in New York. I think of your bit. I think of like Greg Giraldo's bit about the bachelorette party. I think about I think about the Wu-Tang song Rules. Like, I think about the Spike Lee movie 25th Hour. Where we were like, man, that scene with Barry Pepper was like heavy.
And when Giuliani came out on SNL and said, "We can be funny again."
I think,
was
I mean, little shit meant so much. I mean, I think
Yeah.
of Mike Piazza's home run.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
that was like powerful. I mean, it was a crazy time.
I feel bad. I was in New Orleans, hungover, freshman at college. Came downstairs, and me and my dad had a weird relationship. And I came, and he goes, "We gotta talk." And I go, "Ah, shit." And I wrecked the cars, and I, puke in the living room. And he's like, "The Twin Towers have been hit." And I was like, "Oh, thank God." Holy shit.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, it wasn't me. And then I went to college or school, and it was shut down, so I got to go home. So it was kind of nice
Damn.
in Louisiana.
Damn.
It was nice in Louisiana.
Well, it was a break. But then the news started coming out. You saw the people jumping. You saw the smoke. It was wild.
You know what? Another thing I'll never forget about September 11th that day is it had been a really exceptionally hot. Well, not anymore, but back then it was an exceptionally hot summer, and that day was crystal clear. It was the first cool day for real. Like the temperatures had come down to like 70s, and it was night. It was a beautiful day. Beautiful. Couple clouds in the sky.
Yeah.
It was a nice temperature, and I remember that very well. Like, because we had a particularly hot summer,
Yeah.
and
Should name this. We changed to Flight 93. There we go.
The first joke I remember hearing after 9/11, because it was like very heavy atmosphere, was Colin Quinn, and it was like maybe 2 or 3 days after, and he was on a radio. I think he was on Opie and Anthony maybe, and he was like, "Yeah, people were saying like something told me not to go down there that day," and he was like, "Yeah, the news."
God, Colin, always.
Galifianakis had a funny one where someone goes, "Where were you on 9/11?" He goes, "What year?" That was love.
Damn.
Yeah, were you in with that tough crowd crew? They seemed very intimidating. That Patrice, the Nortons,
not really.
the
I mean, I knew
DePaulos.
them, and there was mutual respect, but that was more of a Comedy Cellar crowd, and I was never really ensconced in that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you on Tough Crowd though, and it seemed like you killed on it. It was,
The only thing I remember about that was there were jokes about, this will tell you exactly when it was, although I can't tell you right now, but it was when Kobe Bryant was accused of raping the waitress or somebody in Denver, I think, and they were making jokes about the waitress, and that really bothered me, and it's like, it's just a thing, you have your own cutoff points where that's funny, that's not funny. I'll do a joke about that. I'm not going to do a joke about that. But and I don't have many. There are very few things I won't joke about. But like victims, like I'm not going to. This is terrible.
Right.
What
about a 9/11 joke?
Fucking tons of them.
But that's victims.
9/11. Well, that's in the abstract. I'm not talking about a specific. I didn't go.
Not a
hey, you know that
specific person."
motherfucker from Goldman Sachs who died? Fuck that dude. Listen to this. No, I mean those are, and they're not jokes about people dying so much. Though I do remember that joke. Now I haven't thought about it in 20 plus years.
All
but
right.
the thing about the New York casino, the people who went to the New York or were at the New York casino during 9/11 in Las Vegas, being like I can relate.
That's good.
I can't remember what the thing was, but
That's a funny angle. Well, hey, jeez.
I mean,
Brought it
dude,
around full
yeah.
circle with the paper plane, 9/11.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on, man. We really
I'm not
appreciate
done.
it. Oh, really?
Listen, we still got a little bit of paper plane.
All right.
Can I do a
yeah.
rec
Do a
then?
rec.
I never do rec.
Do a rec.
Oh, hit
please.
me.
Station 11 was my favorite show of like 2021.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was a
Yeah.
great show.
Really, really good. Yeah,
I don't even know what platform it was on, but it was amazing.
it was HBO, right?
I think so. Okay. That's
HBO
what
or
I was-
HBO Max?
Was that about a pandemic?
Yes.
Yes,
And
it
it was
was
made
really
free.
fucking good, man.
That
By
was
the way,
great.
you've got a computer. I don't know what show it's on. It's fucking there.
I'm drunk.
Are you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did not I didn't know anything about
I gotta watch it.
the source material. I didn't know. I just I did my stuff and that was it. And it was beautiful. And those last 2 episodes, I was fucking balling.
Yeah.
Those
gotta
last
watch
2
it.
episodes, and Hamesh Patel, how did he not get the Emmy?
Yeah.
I mean,
Did they have
there's
the
so
Emmys
many
that
good
year?
people in there, but he's fucking great. No, he's just great.
I'm gonna watch it next. This is my next
It's
show.
really good,
it's
man.
good.
It's really
I'm
good.
pumped to
It's
watch
well
it.
done. It's like a movie.
So well done. Patrick Sullivan, who was the showrunner, who took that book and turned it. It's just beautiful, and it's a surprisingly optimistic message, and it's just so well done. It's so fucking good.
Yeah,
And the last 2 episodes, I was bawling.
and to watch it during COVID, it like really hit home. Just all at home.
Is that accurate? They were making it pre-pandemic, and then did they finish it in the pandemic, or?
Yeah, it was. I think started pre-pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and it was shot in Toronto, and I happened to be in Toronto, stuck in Toronto. My wife was working there. It's a long story, and it was bleak, man. It was really tough time, and quite depressing, and not good for our marriage, and I remember calling my agent going, I will work on anything, literally, just, and I'm not relegating that to anything, but I'm like, I'm sitting in a house that's an Airbnb. It's not my house, with a hyper 4-year-old. My wife's working, and I'm got nothing, and we're on month 4 of who knows how long this shit's gonna be, because we were locked down. There was nothing open in Toronto.
Especially
It was like-
Toronto.
and everything was
Right.
open here.
right.
I'm like talking to Bob. He's like, "Yeah, man, I just did a set in New York. It's great." I'm like, "Oh man," and it was really hard. And
We shot a special on rooftops in New York City.
yeah,
There was nothing open. We were just like, well, let's just do some weird shit.
God
you know?
bless you, man.
Yeah, we were like, do anything. We were going crazy.
dude, I didn't do a set for a year and 7 months.
Woo! I'd go crazy.
I was going crazy.
Yeah.
A year and 7. That's the longest it's been since I started when I was 17. I've never gone that
Wow.
long, not even remotely close to not doing a set.
You realize how much we need this shit. It's such
Yeah.
a part of our. Last night they were making fun of me because I was so tired. I was off the road, and I was like, I should cancel at the Cellar tonight, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't send the text. I was like, fuck it, I'm in.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, and it's absolutely fine. You're along with most people if you haven't saw my last special. I'm from the future, but that is about at least part of it is about not being able to do stand-up. In the first set, I'll never forget it. I was supposed to go out on tour, and then the second wave, the Delta Omicron wave,
yep.
came and canceled that tour. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to go through this again, because again, you don't know what the future is when that's happening. And I'm like, have to cancel a tour which I've never done in my life, and it was one of the sickest feelings I've ever had. Just like, I love doing stand-up. I need it. I have to do it, and to develop this, hour and 15 minutes, whatever it was, and then to have to cancel it. So I just shot it at the Bell House. Like, I scrambled and put it together, and it's on my website, officialdavidcross.com. Yes, you heard that correctly. And it's about, a lot of it is about the, not being able to do stand-up and being stuck and the pandemic and all that shit. But the very first set I had was at Sultan Room. And it was, I came back with my daughter. My wife still had to be there for shooting the show the minute we could. And when I say minute, I mean, what's the flight? The earliest I can get out of here. I'm gonna have my daughter for a month without my wife. It doesn't matter. It's just, we're going back. We're getting out of here. We're getting the fuck out of Toronto. We're going home. Things are open. It's nice out. my kid can ride her scooter and socialize, and I can do stand whatever. And I know my wife's not gonna be there for months. It's like I'm happy to do it. Just me and her, great.
Yeah.
And my first set was at the Sultan Room, and I was like, just get me anything. And I almost started crying.
Wow. I
would
get
say,
it.
I would say I was like I was starting to talk and going like, this is I haven't been able to do stand up for the last time I did a real set was and I started to lose it a little bit. And then I riffed this thing that actually became something in the set that I just kept in there, and it was really fun to do. But I just riffed only to save myself emotionally because I was about to start crying, and it was the beginning of the set.
Yeah.
And, you can close a set by crying, but don't open a set by crying. And I was like, oh, this has been a dream of mine, and I dreamt about this day. And then I just turned it into this riff about a weird dream I had with people in the audience. But it's, it was one of the most powerful things I've experienced where, like, it's so important to me, such a part of my makeup, and I have to have it. Unlike any other, if I never wrote another thing, if I never acted in another thing, if I never directed or produced, okay. But if you said I can't do stand-up, it would crush me.
Same. I get it.
And that's because that's the thing that should be on our terms. Like the other stuff is like okay, you got cast in this, right? Stand-up's on our terms, so it's like loss of all control.
Dude, that was a big part of it. Was because there were a couple periods where I would say something or do something, and I thought, okay, I'm going to be blacklisted, or this is pre-cancel culture, but I'm not going to get to work. I'm going to be difficult to work with, whatever. People aren't going to hire me, and I would always in the back of my head go, okay, I can always do stand-up.
Right.
I always will do stand-up. And Sam, you're right. It was not in our control, and that was a real fucking gut punch. Like, you can't. I mean, I can't even. And my wife was like, just go find somewhere to go, like in an encouraging way, like go to Alberta for the week and go to Vancouver, whatever. And I got online, and everything's closed all across Canada, and there was no going back and forth because there was a 14-day quarantine because Canada was locked down.
Damn.
What was called stay-at-home orders, and
Brutal.
it was brutal.
Canada was rough.
Well, I mean, it was rough here too. I mean, it wasn't
No, but
as
dude,
rough.
this was
was worse.
opening. This was New York was opening up. Vanderbilt Avenue had the open streets thing, and there's like 5 lanes, and the median, and it's like shut to traffic, and all the people are out there. The whole community's bringing tables out there, and they're sharing food, and kids are running around on their scooters and shit like that. And in Toronto, you're locked down
Yeah.
Fuck.
with way less of the numbers that
Right.
It was. I mean, I remember the first set I had back. I did the Cellar and Gotham Comedy Club the first night, and Jerry Seinfeld wanted to be the first person on stage. He was like, "I want to go on before the host. Like, this is meaningful to me." He was emotional too. You'd see tears in his eyes. I was like, "Holy shit, Jerry's tearing up. This is pretty historic." It was like press from the New York Post there. And Jerry.
Wow, what a coincidence!
But Jerry, to his credit, there was a big plastic barricade between him and the stage. He goes, "What is this?" And they were like, "Well, this is to protect you guys." He's like, "This isn't comedy." And they moved it. So there was no barricade ever at Gotham because Jerry was like, What the hell?"
Yeah.
67 people died.
It was a bloodbath. But Jerry got to feel alive on stage, and that's what matters.
Comedians in clubs killing guests. Damn.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
No, you were
Thank
awesome,
you,
man. Thanks for
Yeah,
doing
thanks.
this. See David Cross, officialdavidcross.com.
All
You
over
can
the
see his
road.
tour all over the country.
Not
And
Toronto. No, I'm kidding. You're going to Toronto.
I'll be in Toronto for sure.
Danforth.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
look at all those dates. Matt, can you read some of them out loud?
Yeah, sure. We got San Francisco on the 22nd of March. We have
One of my favorite
Austin,
cities.
Texas after that, Houston after that,
Great.
Dallas after that, April 1st in New Orleans, and then St. Louis, Chicago, Illinois, Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wait, Chicago, Illinois? That's not right. It should be Chicago, Kentucky. That's a mistake on our end. I'll fix that up.
We got Knoxville, and just go to the site to see more.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Check out David
it.
Cross. Check out his old stuff, his new tour. Go nuts. Where you at, Sam?
Vancouver, Seattle, Portland. We had a night in Portland. That should be great. Salt Lake City, AC, Royal Oak, Minneapolis, added in Boston, New Haven,
Madison.
Those are all great. I'm looking at your.
Each
those are
goes.
great rooms,
I'm
man.
pumped, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Miami,
what up?
Orlando,
Welcome to the Very Gang. Thanks for the
DC,
follow.
Atlanta,
What up,
everything.
what up, what up?
Where you
Go to
at?
Tabernacle.
Oh wow, that's big.
Yeah,
That's a
it's-
big deal.
I'm pumped, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Samuel.com/shows. Check it out.
I got all mine up here. Hawaii, then Spokane, then Rochester, Miami, Appleton.
Who's routing you? This is
It's
fucking-
horrible. It's horrible
routing is
routing.
terrible.
I
Well,
know.
he's gearing up for a special, so he's doing clubs and
I'm
he's
doing
and
the
he's
small clubs.
But the routing.
Wow.
I mean, the places are fine, but to go from that place to that place
Well,
to
I
that
come
place
back to
that
New York
place.
every time in the middle. I never go straight
Yeah,
from
that's-
gig to gig.
It's not necessary. Do you have to feed your fish or what? Get somebody to do that.
I like
Nah.
to come back.
his tank's only got plates in it anyway. He's good.
Yeah, tell my agent, will you? Jesus
Hawaii to Maine to Spokane to Austin
I know.
to
I
Alberta
just did
to
literally
Miami.
Tacoma, New York, Spokane. I was like, kill me.
Yeah, it's a 6-hour flight. It's a bitch. You got to connect a lot of times. But yeah, come on out. MarkNormanComedy.com. Loud Gaze. We're really doing it. Thanks,
Thank
Dave,
you,
for
guys.
doing the show.
Hey, just so you know, it's GAZE.
Yes. Yes.
And so don't come, jumping
Thank
up
you.
our ass, all
Avert
right?
your gaze.
Sunday's the day for my next offender. A bit of fever wreck, you know the beer juice close. I've had a little too much bourbon, and Norman's talking shit about the fucking Pope. And I get down in the same way. Up on the roof like a cop's coming, and naked Samuel is feeling dangerous. I'm out to lunch here in New Orleans. This woman doesn't look like I remember her, and I get down in the same way. We might be.
How are you? I'm good, man. How are you? I usually ban a collie every single game, and I didn't ban her this time. I was going to pick her, and someone else did, and then 10-0 and 3. Lovely. Don't we just love that? Unreal. Holy shit. What up, Ruby Gaming
Hey
88?
everybody, here we are.
Yep,
We might
I'm
be
tired
drunk.
of
Good to have you.
this
Sam's
team.
Over, Steve-O's sober, and we lost the Peruvian dog.
tired
You
of
found
this
that dog in
team.
Peru?
I did. And
Ruby Gaming,
I
thanks for
was
following. Welcome to the Rare
videoing
Gang.
as I found her, like I approached her with the camera rolling, and I just kept filming the whole time I was in Peru. This is where I found her, on the streets of Peru. And
Seriously,
I
can't
put together this
believe.
video about how we fell in love and how I brought her home with me to America. And that fucking video
Cannot
got more
believe.
views than
The
anything
Collie's
I've
10-0.
ever put on the internet.
If
That's
you
the
ever watch
internet. It's a
anything,
slippery
I'm always
bitch.
banning
You
her.
can't predict it.
Yeah, well,
You never know.
I'll tell you, it was
I'm good. How are you,
slippery
Ruby
bitch.
Gaming?
it was a
Ran away from us.
Yeah,
it
right.
was, it was a real kick in the nuts to learn that after a lifetime of attention whoring,
Exactly.
I just couldn't come up with a goddamn thing better than rescuing a dog.
You put a Hot Wheel car up your ass. A couple views. But this, you can't
Yeah.
beat it.
Those are the things you think of that pop though on like TikTok or YouTube.
Right.
It's like self-harm
Yeah.
for animals, right? Those
Yeah. I mean, anything with animal cats. My girl is into cat
Yeah.
stuff, and that all just blows up.
Yeah, my girl actually just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls, nothing but animals.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because you know what? There's so much hatred and vitriol just being spewed on Twitter.
At least
and
like
all this
3
shit. And then
years.
You see a little cat.
4
and
years
you're like,
maybe
oh, the
into
world's
streaming.
Right.
awful.
Yeah, kind of nice for bestiality people because they're like, oh, I'm just, I love animals. You know, you have an out. That's kind of convenient. I never thought about that.
Ah, man. Dude, I'm a fan. I'm a fucking fan.
Bestiality?
Hey, you think that does
Oh,
well?
excuse
Just
me.
rescuing a dog.
Yeah.
Fucking a dog. That's going through the roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys gave me this annoying homework. You know, I've come up with all this different stuff. I was thinking about let's do a bit about fucking a dog.
I tried to write a bit years ago about how we make fun of bestiality people, but we talk about women as if they're animals. She's a fox. She's a hot chick. That's a cougar. Or if
Yeah,
she's ugly,
wow.
that's a dog. She's a pig. We always go back to animal.
Right, okay.
Russ Maneve used to have a great bit where he said, doggy style, that's too kinky for me. I like human style. That's when I put my dog on his back.
That's great. That's a great,
Great,
joke.
great little misdirect.
Great, Russell Peters.
Russ Maneve.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Russell Peters. That doesn't involve an ethnic person. Or an
It's
accent.
been good. My experience streaming's been good.
So you're in New York just hanging?
Promoting my book.
That's right, the book.
Yeah, I have a book. It's my second book. It's called A Hard Kick in the Nuts.
New York Times bestseller.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I would be mortified if it's not, but we don't receive official word about that for another, presumably a week.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever think you would write one book, much less two?
I did. I'm such a rabid attention whore, and always have been, that I'd kind of just viewed my life as something that I was doing so that it would be a really crazy book.
Hell yeah. Wow, you got everything. What I've learned from a lifetime of terrible decisions.
Yep,
I love
it's a book
that.
of wisdom.
Get on it,
Because,
folks.
unfortunately, memoir part 2, I learned, is not a thing.
Well, that's great.
So
Thank you so
you gotta
much.
have some kind of an angle on it. So I went with a book of wisdom
Trying
gleaned
to
from a lifetime of terrible
Keep it
decisions.
together after
Yeah.
Is
this
that part of your
Akali
sobriety?
is killing us,
Is what part of my
The
sobriety?
bad
and I
decisions?
ban her
I have
every
managed to
single
make
time.
awful decisions in sobriety. Yeah,
That's impressive.
yeah, for sure. I love it. I love a good bad decision.
I know, but the sobriety part sucks 'cause you can't blame it on drugs or booze,
Right.
you know?
That's it. You know, like the book has its fun, it's funny, and it's serious as well, and that plays into the serious part that it's a motherfucker
give me a
when
follow back on
you're a piece of
Twitter.
shit and you don't have drugs and alcohol to blame.
Yeah, that's hard.
yeah,
Did you do the whole
after the
rehab
stream,
thing,
I
or did
got
you just-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did?
I did. It started, the sobriety started with an intervention which was organized and led
person's
by
photo.
Johnny Knoxville.
It's the funniest intervention of all time.
That was one of my first
Oh
jokes,
my, seriously?
you know, in stand-up was, you know you've got a problem when your interventionist is Johnny Knoxville.
Right. You walk in, a bucket of water falls on your head. You're like, come on, man.
We need to talk.
They
Yeah,
tar
that's
and feather you. Wow. So, what was the drug of choice?
I was what we referred to as a garbage can. Like,
So that's everything?
Fairly non-discriminate. I never did heroin, and I never smoked crack. But other than that, I was indiscriminate.
I do need to take
Never
some
really
rest
got into
indeed.
meth, but at the same time, I never
From
turned it
Akali,
down.
I'm never not
Gotcha.
banning her again.
That's pretty good. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of crackhead comedians and actors, and then heroin. You never did that. I think you're doing all right.
Right. That was what I learned from my first time in rehab in 1995.
Oh, you multiple times.
Yeah, 1995. I was only 20 years old. I was on a string of bad luck.
Yep.
And I ended up in rehab totally by mistake. And what I learned in there was, wow, crack is bad. And so is heroin.
Yeah, David Cross talked about doing crack in his book, and he said, like, he did it once or twice, never did it again, but he gets why it's so popular. He's like, you feel great.
I mean, I understand it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Crack is great. Crack is like kind of no. That's tough. I mean, that's you see people on the street and you're like, well, you're not doing great advertising for crack.
Right.
You know, or meth or whatever. I mean, I don't like drugs where you're just always on the drug. I like that moment with hangovers where you're like, I am a piece of shit.
Yep.
I hate myself. Let me text a friend. The dude who's on meth is not waking up the next day like, did I almost rob and rape someone last night?
Right.
You don't have that moment of clarity.
Yeah, you just keep going.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah, I remember that first rehab. It was always everybody was in a circle sharing their feelings,
Yep.
and on just about every day there was somebody who left and somebody who arrived. And the arrival entailed walking up to the circle and introducing yourself and stating what your drug of choice was.
Okay.
And I really quickly got the impression that whenever anybody said their drug of choice was crack, everybody's priority was making sure that that fucking person was not their roommate.
Whoa.
Wow.
Like, they would avert eye contact. It's like, I don't want, like...
Why is that? Because just coming off it was a nightmare?
That and just like...
It's a bad personality type.
just a bad person that I don't want to have to deal with.
You hear that, Tom Sizemore? You piece of shit. He was
Yeah.
a crackhead.
Right, and I also got the sense that when people's drug of choice was heroin, they didn't walk up to the circle. They were more like kind of carried into the, and then we would meet them in a couple days.
Right. They were a zombie. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So it's like the movies with the circle and the,
It was
the
very.
nurse lady.
At that
Did you
time-
share your feelings even as a 20-year-old?
Yeah, I remember then I would always introduce myself as I'm Steve-O, and I'm an alcoholic, or whatever it was.
They knew you though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even weirder.
Oh no, they didn't know me in 1995.
Okay,
But I was introduced myself as Steve-O.
got it.
Yeah, but
And then-
now I'm a little bit more. I try not to be Steve-O in those circles and the recovery community out of respect. I feel like.
Sure, I
Yeah,
get
sure,
it.
you're not supposed to use a stage name.
Yeah, it's.
I'm the amazing Jonathan. Everyone's like, all right.
Exactly.
That's fascinating that you went at such a young age.
It didn't stick. It didn't stick back then, if you can believe it.
Harry Jacosta.
It
for the
was when I
Bullets
was
again.
33 that I got sober.
I am great. How are
Really
you?
fucking good, man.
Yeah,
That's
congrats.
the thing. That's the thing with addiction is that it's a motherfucker if you just kinda have it. If you're say if you're an alcoholic, but it's not so bad.
Yeah.
You know, it can continue.
Yeah.
It just kind of turns into quicksand. It just
Yeah.
slows you
Nice,
down.
nice.
It fucks up your
Nice.
relationships. It precludes
fun,
you
have
from
fun.
like really realizing your potential.
Right.
But it's not so bad that it needs to be addressed. And so it just
Exactly.
continues and continues, and the years turn into decades, and then the next thing you know, you're an old dude, and you're just fucking sitting there and like, fuck, I blew it.
So true. Yeah, when it eats away at just a little, it's almost
Right.
worse than if you have a rock bottom
Right.
moment.
Oh my god, I'm so fortunate that I had it so.
It's going well.
Bad. I was just. It's
going well. We're still in bronze.
Okay, the way I was
One.
carrying on, that it had to be addressed.
Trying to make it to
Wow.
silver 4.
You know, it's the only disease.
But we're good.
Like, where you become a better version of yourself. Any other disease, the best you can hope for is to be restored to the health you enjoyed before you got sick.
Right.
But when we treat alcoholism and addiction, we actually become a better version of ourselves than we ever were before.
Interesting.
It's unique in that way.
Because you think the gratitude as well?
I think the gratitude. I think that you know, it's like a spiritual solution. You know, we kind of get plugged in. We make sure we're doing the right thing when nobody's watching. That's like the big deal.
What about sex addict? That's a
Se-
tough one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, but I would maintain the same thing. If anything, I think
BRB.
the sex addict is almost a heightened example of that because say, when you bounce back from the kind of shame and guilt, you know, like that can be associated with sex addiction, then you're coming out of that with like a level of humility and you know,
Right.
and like precision care for doing the right thing when
Yeah.
nobody's watching.
I think most guys think they're a sex addict, but then they come and they're like, I'm not. You know, like I've had that thought. I'm like, maybe I'm addicted to sex. But then it's like, no, of course. I mean, you were actually, but did it go hand in hand with the other addictions?
I would like my life played out at like sort of an addiction whack-a-mole, you know, a game of whack-a-mole. Like one, you know, address one thing and the other thing just rears its head. You know, like I had to address the sex stuff when I was well into sobriety.
Yeah.
And that was crucial, man. I mean, if you think about it, like as far as like falls from grace, you know, like just absolute like devastation of people's careers, their reputations, livelihood. Very little.
And I'm forever smoking Nazis. I'ma pass the blunt to Anne Frank, the same ones who
Sure. Yes. Go.
That's awesome.
Where he
man.
plays, am I allowed to say? Yeah. He plays young Vince McMahon. Appears as though he's been hit by some of those fun Austin allergies. Perhaps our most congested guest of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Ray.
Pew, pew, pew.
Doing lines of Allegra before the show.
Achoo!
Those allergies in Austin are real.
They are.
They are.
Good to be here. It's also, the pot is very good here.
It is too good.
Yeah.
Pot?
The pot, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Thanks to FedEx.
Yeah, they do a
Coming
really
straight
good
from
job.
California.
Really good job getting it from other places.
Yeah.
We're all stuffed up on barbecue, speaking of the munchies, from the amazing people over at Leroy and Lewis. I don't know if you guys have been to this place, at Cosmic Coffee on South Congress. They made us some beef ribs, some sausage, and popcorn made in fat that we're going to eat after the show. I'm super excited about fat popcorn. I need to put some meat on my bones. And they were guided here by, of course, the great Yoni over at Best Barbecue Show, who helps us out all the time. He's the man. And special shout out, I have a special guest here, everyone. I have the coolest graphic artist / propagandist in the world. Make a noise for the great McVader, everyone, visiting from all those Fun Kill Tony promos you've seen over the years. They're made by him. He just sends them right to me every week. He's a monster at what he does. And yeah, I'm excited about the show. A lot of first-timers here tonight, so a quick lowdown for you. A bunch of people signed up for the chance to perform here on this show in front of us. They get 60 seconds uninterrupted, and then we talk to them about their lives afterwards. You know your 60 seconds is up when you hear the sound of a kitten. That means wrap it up then, or else you're going to bring out the angry Fashion District Bear. Wow, that is one big gay bear, isn't it?
He got angrier.
He really is. He's really angry now.
Maybe gayer,
Turns
too.
out he was happy in West Hollywood. He's furious. He has oak allergies. When he's not stuffing his mouth with cock, his nose is stuffed with pollen. You guys ready to start this fucking show?
Yeah, baby.
I like this crowd tonight. It's a big upgrade. Feels like the energy is up there. Almost feels like a Tuesday in here. You know what I mean? Jeez,
I can see that guy's knees. It's really getting crazy
wow,
here
yeah,
in Texas.
look at those. His knees
Yeah.
look like just really long thighs.
Yeah,
There's
really,
barely
just a
any bone or anything
continuation.
there. These big Texas knees, they're just
Yeah,
blown
real
out. There's no more
knees.
joints.
Lots of salt on this.
Hard for me to get in my Silverado, Tony. Pull the name out of the bucket. Let's fucking go. Your first comedian. Shaking. I'm sure nervous as hell right now to get things started. Make some noise for Leo Konopka. Leo Konopka is first on Kill Tony. Anything can happen here. A few weeks ago, we had a completely homeless guy go first. Turns out he just signed his name on a piece of paper. He was standing out there. I called his name. He came up truly as homeless as it gets. Anything can happen here on Kill Tony. Anyone can sign up. There's a holding tank of comedians up top, some comedians on the sidewalk, and some people signed up, I'm sure, that are sitting in the audience right now. Here's Leo Konopka, everyone.
What the fuck is up? How we feeling, Antones? Hell yeah. So I've been working on my discipline. So I have one cheat day a week, but I never tell my girlfriend. Yeah. Sometimes I want to eat a pizza by myself, and I also don't want her to know that I'm fucking her sister, so. Cool. I'm 5'8". I found out recently men who are 5'8" and shorter are 2 times more likely to kill themselves than men who are 6 foot or taller. Yeah, I think it's because men who are 6 foot or taller, when they try to hang themselves, their feet still touch the ground. Fuck yeah. I just bought pepper spray. So in case I have a rape, I can blind them too. They won't even be able to see me coming. I'm Leo. Thank you guys.
Leo Konopka. Leo Konopka Maka is the place to say. A funny little name, huh? You have a Hawaiian last name and you're white as fuck.
Yeah, dude.
What's up with that?
Let's make things more confusing. My stepdad's black, and my ex-girlfriend's a stripper. So there's.
Oh, so much
Hello,
material.
Hollywood. We have a show
Wow.
idea.
I love how strippers now count as their own race of people. Funny you should mention, Tony. I'm actually part Native American and stripper. The fuck are you talking about, bro?
I'm trying to spice up the interview for you. That's all.
How was your? So let's talk about it. Your ex-girlfriend was a stripper. How long were you with her for?
2 years.
2 years with a stripper. She comes home. When what happens? She takes a shower.
Yeah, I just lick her. I start.
Checks her
Hey,
email.
bath.
just
She takes a bath.
guys that have strippers for girlfriends are always ultra romantic, right? It's like, hey, babe, I already have a bath run for you and rose petals all over the fucking
Wash
place.
up.
Cover up that fucking sweat.
Your sodium levels must be out of control from that such a salty lady.
Took the Salisbury steak out of the wrapper for you.
Yikes.
Why are you dressed like you work backstage at Cats the Musical?
Dude, listen.
It's nice. Black on black is good.
Black on black.
All right.
Wait, you said a joke about fucking your girlfriend's sister?
Sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a joke? Yeah.
It's a joke. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does she have a sister?
No, she has a autistic brother.
Well,
Oh.
have you fucked him?
That's funnier.
Yeah. You ever think about just
How hot
lubing
is
it
he?
up?
Yeah.
Parents probably won't believe him if he says you raped him anyway. He's autistic, you know. I do like this audience tonight.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah, this is
Glad.
great.
What a relief.
Yeah.
What a relief. We're in it tonight. We have launched. All right, Leo. So what do you do for work?
Sell mushrooms.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
He thought about it. He sounded like he was about to lie.
Yeah, I know. What was the lie you were
Yeah,
thinking of?
what did a teacher?
Fucking. It's also not a lie. My ex-girlfriend sends me like $200 a week because she thinks I'm gonna make it. So.
Make it in
sugar
what?
daddy.
Comedy and
Wow,
stuff.
look at
Yeah.
that. The stripper girl believes in you.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
She's taking other men's money and giving it to you,
Yeah.
dude.
Fucking the cycle of life,
Yeah,
baby.
it's the
Fuck
circle of life.
My
Yeah.
God, that
Yeah.
is incredible. How long has she been giving you this fucking
I
Stripper
moved
per
here.
diem.
yeah, this fucking, I think it's called
Stripper diem.
I think it's called perennium, right? Wow, how long have you been getting this fucking whore alimony for? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I moved here on the 1st, so it's been twice.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Where'd you move from?
How many dances is that?
Baltimore, actually.
Baltimore. She's a Baltimore stripper.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, right by the
Wow.
aquarium. Yeah, that's
Yep.
good.
Oh my.
If that's the song she comes up to,
Wow.
She's just.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, what did you do when you were in Baltimore?
I worked at Magoobies. I was a door guy at Magoobies.
Okay.
Is that a strip club? Or?
No.
it's a comedy club.
It should have been.
Goobies is a
Yeah.
famous comedy club.
Been there.
Nope.
They're very close to the McCormick seasoning factory,
Yeah.
so you can smell like cinnamon and parsley and whatnot in the air when you're driving by. That's what.
Beautiful.
That's the only thing I remember about that trip to Magoobies.
Yeah.
So much fun. You make it big as a comedian. You have to go places that are called Magoobies. I made it, Mama. I promise. Catch me at Magoobies.
Work hard, kids.
One day.
Follow your dreams.
And you too can make it to Magoobies. I love it. Leo, what do you do for fun? You seem like a guy that has some deep, dark hobbies. Your set was great, by the way. if you
Yeah, your
wanna
jokes
talk
were really
about it.
great.
Good jokes. How about a hand
Way to
for
start
Leo?
off the show strong, for real.
Yeah, scary first spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right before I came down, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna take the fucking bullet.
Yeah, you're shitting
And I
Kenny
did.
Bear.
I'm like, I'm about to shit myself.
Yeah, take that energy, use
Yeah, I
it.
did.
I thought you had a really good opportunity to bring back a tag on the second one where you don't tell the sister about your diet either, your diet cheats either. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
thought that might be a good spot.
Where'd you meet the stripper in Baltimore?
Tinder.
Wow.
Oh, that's good
I
material.
didn't know she was a stripper at first, and like.
What gave it away?
Yeah. She brought her pole with her. She's like, "Hey, do you mind if I put this here?"
No. She didn't bring it up for the first month that we hung out, and then
fair.
And then you're like, "What are all these dollar bills in your thong, dude?"
Yeah.
why do you keep on paying in ones for dinner, woman?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I matched with this girl, Tiffany Tightpuss, on Tinder. I don't know what she does. I'm going to have to find out in a month or so.
Crystal Pussy Lips seems like a nice girl, but I'm not sure what she does at night.
Yeah. Wait, so did she, what was your response? Do you remember? Were you like shocked? Were you excited?
Oh, I don't judge, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever you got.
However you make your money, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
she
he
was
sells
like,
mushrooms.
I want you to move in with me, and I'm gonna pay all the bills, and I did that, and
So wait,
Damn.
you're a sugar baby. You're like a
kinda.
stripper sugar baby.
Yeah, she's 2 years younger than me, so.
What do
it's,
you think she likes
yeah.
so much about you? Are you good in the bedroom? Were you doing chores or something? Or-
Yeah, I did actually. Funny enough,
Are you looking for her?
Yeah,
Is
no,
she
no,
here?
no,
no.
Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Baltimore, Tiffany Tightpuss is here.
I started a fucking like under the table cleaning business for like 5 strippers. I made like $800 a week cleaning 5 different strippers' houses.
Oh my god.
Under the yeah, that gives a whole new meaning to under the table.
Yeah, what are you
Right.
cleaning? What are you cleaning? Like a lot
They're
of eyelashes?
strippers are
and cum?
dirty as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
They're fucking dirt balls. They are.
Jesus, relax.
Who would have thought?
It's all true. It's all true.
I mean,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on.
I dated a stripper that
cleaning,
used paper
though?
towels as a tampon. You know. like-
Okay, Red Band.
We all have
that's
a
just,
rough day.
My
that's
mom's
you.
gonna watch this.
That's a testament to who you date, not who strippers
Oh,
are.
I mean,
Oh, paper towel tampon red band.
The stories this guy has are insane. What was the breakup like?
No, I decided to move to Austin, and we lived together for the last 3 months as just friends. And I was like, hey, moving here, and I'm gonna just try to pursue stand-up full time. And she was like, can I come with you? I'm like, no. And
Why'd you say no?
Because I don't need that. There's a lot.
What, you don't need somebody providing for you?
Yeah.
helping you?
I don't need that, but please keep the checks coming.
Just keep sending money in the mail.
Truthfully,
Sure do love these $200.
Truthfully, it makes things too easy. It made things way too easy.
Yeah, you're like, I want to sell mushrooms myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, Leo.
Well, do you think you'll find like a new stripper like mentor down here?
Mentor.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think you'll allow yourself to find that type of a situation, or are you like done taking handouts
Unbelievable.
or hand jobs, whatever she was giving?
Listen, you get
Also,
both,
does the
definitely
cash
both.
come
yeah.
in ones, or is it a Venmo situation? How does it?
A little mix of both. Mix of
Okay.
both. No, but no, I'm just a linear focus on trying
Yeah.
to sling jokes and shit.
Good move. So.
Leo, I love it. I love it. You're in the fucking game. Clearly, you're a lucky guy. You got pulled out of the bucket. There's like 70 names in this Mamma Jamma tonight. You made the best of the situation. You got the show started with a bang. I believe in you, buddy. Keep coming back.
I agree.
Leo Konopka,
Yeah,
everybody.
good for you.
Follow him on Instagram at leo.comedian. That's him.
Yeah, he's got a face of a tall dude and a body of a tiny dude. I
And
love
now for something you guys will never even guess is real. I'd like to introduce our new microphone cleaner and microphone switcher outer from the Yellow Rose and Red Rose, our favorite local strip clubs. It's Kaylee, everybody. This is a real life catcher at the Red Rose. Catcher at the Red Rose. And go to the Yellow Rose and Red Rose, Austin's premier strip club. The Red Rose celebrating their 1-year anniversary this upcoming Thursday, April 29th, and the Yellow Rose, an Austin legend for 45 years. They have a world-famous cheeseburger. Both places have complimentary limo service 7 days a week, and the hottest dancers from around the world.
Fuck yeah, they do.
How about one more hand for Kaylee, everybody? Huh? Yeah.
It really is the best strip club in the United States of America.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, if you're wondering if that was just a smooth segue into a real strip club advertisement that was scheduled for today, and then the first comedian pulled out of the bucket coincidentally talked about having a stripper girlfriend. That just happened because the comedy gods love us. So the Yellow Rose and Red Rose. Go to www.redroseaustin.com, www.yellowrose.com, and find your location. Red Rose is at South Congress. Yet you all know where the Yellow Rose is. I'm not
Everyone
even going
knows.
to say it.
Except the people with their wives.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian goes by the name of Andy Harter. Andy Harter, everyone. Here we go.
How weird is that?
There's a
Seriously.
random pro wrestler walking around. Oh, okay, he works here. He works here. It's okay. Andy Harter is coming, I'm sure. We got movement on an Andy.
Where is this motherfucker? Yeah, get him here.
Come on.
Get
Here we
him
go.
here to
Okay,
the
he's
stage.
coming. Thank Jesus Christ. Here he comes, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Andy Harter.
So I recently had to come to terms with the fact that I'm poor. I got fucking creditors calling me. You have a negative balance of $14,232. You know way you can take care of that today? Visa, MasterCard, check by phone. Like, I just missed 10 $50 a month payments in a row. What makes you think you got 14 grand laying around? Like, well, we're willing to offer you a settlement. If you can pay $9,000 now, we'll wipe the slate clean. That's a savings of over $5,000. Oh, I bet, yeah. If I don't pay you at all, that's a savings of $14,230. She's like, well, this negatively affect your credit score. My credit score? What are you gonna do? Lower it from 440 to 430? I don't give a shit. Take 10 for yourself while you're at it. I'm never gonna miss it.
There it is. Andy Harter, always making it look easy. This is your
Yes.
second time on the show?
Yeah.
Incredible stuff, man.
Look how sweet he is now.
He
the
is.
turn.
He's a big fucking little softy pie.
Yeah.
Look at him.
You got the confidence of a white guy before me too. I like it.
Yeah. Old school. Old school.
I think I bought cigarettes from you in Grand Theft Auto.
You're so cute. Look at your dimples.
He is. He's cute. For those of you listening to the podcast, not watching, he looks like a young, healthy Michelin man or something like that.
Yeah.
And he sounds like Jim Norton.
Yeah,
You got a great voice. You've got sitcom neighbor voice.
And timing. I took special note of your just execution. Like you really have a grasp. You take us on an adventure. You have mic control, volume control. Everything just was funny.
How about the entrance?
And this thing.
Yeah,
this thing.
that thing.
This
Represent.
is like-
Fucking coming in like.
Washington, motherfuckers! Yeah!
That's not a play.
Wow.
And by the way,
crowd
I'm
goes
fro-
wild for his shout out to some
Wait, by the way, I'm
suburban
home
part of
fucking town
Washington.
my whole life, man.
Wow. Represent. Kenton.
and I'm from Washington, and I've been to Renton, and this is Renton.
Oh yeah.
And it's awesome, and there's this
fucking
much
know.
pride, so
Yeah.
good for you.
He looks,
The governor.
by the sounds of things, I think he's going to be renting for the rest of his life. This guy ain't from Bayonne, Washington. He's from, please give me a Loneville.
Yeah, month by month. City.
Andy, what do you do for work? Remind us.
I
You've been-
hustle, man.
I love it. Tell us more about your hustles. The last guy.
I got like 6 of them. I
Okay.
drive a van for a guy that resells like shit from thrift stores.
Yikes.
I move furniture. I'm a dog sitter. I do like surveys and focus groups.
Okay.
Whoa.
And you do like wait, you do like tests and stuff or what?
Well, like like they'll sit down and they'll pick people who have a credit union versus a bank account and which do like better.
Okay.
But it's cool. Like 30 minutes, like $100. You know,
Wow.
You're out the door.
Fuck yeah, absolutely. 30 anything where you did 30 minutes for $100, pretty good deal to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keeping your clothes
That's-
on too. That's exciting.
hooker money.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of hookers, I went to the Yellow Rose on your recommendation last night.
Wait,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not,
that's
it was
right.
Fuck yeah.
Just so that we're clear about our new sponsor, it's not filled with hookers. It is a gentleman's luxury strip club. This is a brand new
We all
sponsor.
know the fucking
I happen to
deal.
know for a fact, I do believe the
fucking
owner is
amazing
here, and I want him to
sponsor.
know that we do not believe that it's filled with hookers.
And
Hey, speaking of murderers and serial rapists, I've been to the Yellow Rose.
And to be honest, this was not set up about 4 episodes ago. I did tell you to go to the Yellow Rose because it's my favorite one. How did you like it?
I got a lap dance with this girl that looked like Winnie Cooper.
I love
Remember
it.
the Wonder Years?
That's hot.
Yeah.
Wait,
it
I
was
gotta
hot shit.
ask.
Red bands into girls that look like Winnie the Pooh.
No pants and a red shirt.
he
That's
go,
what
he
I-
go, he,
No, Harry.
he goes. Red band goes to the Yellow Rose just for the cheeseburger. The world
They have good food there.
He's broke, but he spends all his money there. I love
Yeah, he
that.
tips
Yeah.
the burger like, oh, you fucking dirty bitch.
He's like, this is negative 14,000 right here.
You have like a really affable quality to even when you talk, and I feel like there's info coming out that shouldn't. Like, how many times have you done wedding speeches where you've been like, "Hey,
Too
Dave,
much.
remember when we double teamed that midget in Cancun?" Anyway, to the bride and groom. But people are like, "I like this guy. You know, you're likable."
I mean, real life, like I'm the guy that sits in the corner and won't do the speech. 'Cause
Right.
Everybody else is so fucking hacky, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I
but you
don't
should
know.
be, right? Are you writing better shit in your head?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask
Not
you
even
this,
pretending
Andy.
to.
Fucking
Let me ask you
fake,
this,
bro.
Andy. It's an interesting one. What's a time that you? You seem like such a likable, good guy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
What's
I
a
am.
time that you almost got into a fight or like really were like yelled at someone?
Well, real early into doing open mics, there was this guy. I don't know what it is about like guys that are like 55 and in that range.
Oh,
They
I
wanna
know what
fucking
it is.
Fight me.
They're bitter.
Yeah, well, it's like they still want to feel like a man, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm like, I ain't the one, man. Sorry, but the thing is that he was just talking like he was in his fucking living room, and I was like really politely like, hey.
You were
man,
on
get to-"
stage,
No, I was behind him.
but you're about to perform at some point.
Yeah, at some
right.
point, sure, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, he was just being rude, and I was
Right.
like, hey, man, there's a show going on. And then the whole rest of the night, he's all stomping around and fucking
Look at that physical
me and,
comedy.
Yeah.
like showing, he'd like hug everybody in the bar and look at me like, look, we're friends, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm friends with this big dude too. It's just so to answer your question.
Wait, what was the
Are you about to
question?
do it now? Here it comes. You didn't really yell at him or anything. You just said, "Hey, man, there's a show going on."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew
But
it.
I'm just
That's
saying,
exactly
he
what
wanted
I
to fucking
figured.
Fight all night after that, though. He's glaring at me.
Right. Have you ever been in a fight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I really have in my adult life. Like, he's kind of a scrappy kid.
I had a guy last week. This is a true story. He asked me if he could be my security guard. He goes, "Hey, you know, Austin's crazy. It's filled with crazy people. You give me some money, I'll be your security guard." I said no. He goes, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." You can't even make this shit up.
It's true.
A true story. Like I'm literally like, do you know any good security guards? Now I'm actually threatened for the first time by a guy who just offered to be my security guard.
And I like how you hold a mic too. It's real friendly, like just right up top, by the shaft. I love that.
He's a sweet, sweet guy. I feel this is how likable John Caparulo could have been. Like that's just for us. but-
What's the
Yeah.
longest set you've done?
I think I've done 20 minutes a couple times.
You know what? I would love to have you at Vulcan on Thursday to do a 5-minute
Whoa, look at that.
Right to Hollywood.
Andy Harder just booked a gig from being on Kill Tony. That's how the magic happens.
It's
There he
amazing,
goes,
man.
Andy Harder, everyone. He's on Instagram at andy.harter, Harter. Yeah, you can let Fahim in.
Hey, Fahim can be let in. Oh.
There you go. We got it. Okay, Fahim's in.
So many white guys.
All right.
Let's see what's next.
Here we are. We're cleaning the microphone. How about one more hand for Kaylee? Again, you can find her at the Red Rose. Red Rose and Yellow Rose, they work together.
What's the difference? Is there a difference between the yellow and red?
Locations. Yeah. All right. Moving it along, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian goes by the name of William Ray. William Ray. Should be fun. William Ray. I'm going to start pulling the name, and then we'll have the cleaner clean, and then the person will be here.
Yeah.
That's the new move.
Yeah. And maybe she shouldn't be wearing clothes?
Red band, that's enough. All right. This is the part where Red band's alcohol starts kicking in, everybody. This is it. We've made it 25 minutes into the episode. This is where he says everything that he thinks. Here comes William Ray, everybody. It's really him.
Thank you so much. What's up, y'all? It's great to be here. For me, it's honestly great to be anywhere. I was addicted to heroin for years, and I barely made it out alive. On 2 separate occasions, I was revived by the Los Angeles paramedics. So shout out to those guys for ruining my buzz that day. Little bit about my life. My ex, who's also the mother of my son, she was recently diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. So now she has a legitimate medical excuse to be a cunt. One time when I was in jail in the 90s, a cop called me the Crypt Keeper. I just pretended like I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but inside I was like, man, this guy's roast game is on point.
William Ray, everybody. Very fun. How recently did you get off heroin? You look like you still have some in your bloodstream. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Somehow, you look like Henry Rollins' grandfather. What is happening?
He kept his teeth though, looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good.
It's been a good 20 years.
20
Oh,
years
wow.
and you still got the look, huh? The look, the feel of heroin. I love it, man. No, that's adorable. Welcome to the show. How long you been doing stand-up?
This is my first time.
First time ever. Look at that. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
He's gonna be chasing this dragon forever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good first time, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
solid.
definitely.
Brooke or Cherry?
You must feel
Thank
quite
you
the
so
rush
much.
right now. You must be really...
Absolutely.
What's
Ooh,
better,
he's gonna
this
go back to
rush or the heroin rush?
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bullshit. That's not what anyone that's ever done heroin is. So maybe 20 years you forgot what it's like. Here, can we get this guy some heroin and then we can ask him at the
Where's the
same
mushroom
time
guy?
which one's better?
Yeah.
A little bit closer. Let's refresh your memory a little bit. What's under the hat? There's something going on.
What's
you're
under
like,
the-
oh, wow,
Wait,
okay.
why does the hat look bigger when you have it
Yeah,
on,
it
though?
looked
You look
like-
like Toad from Super Mario Brothers when you have it on.
It's puffy.
I thought he would have a tiny fro.
Yeah,
but
you look
no.
like the bad guy from Mega Man with the hat on, the guy with the giant brain. Then you take it off, there's just a tiny little head under there. Look at that little baby head.
Beetlejuice
Look
head.
at that little fucking real deal over here. What do you do for work?
Right now, I work at my friend's construction company.
Okay. What type of construction are you doing? You got a wheelbarrow or something?
Floors, like hardwood floor installations.
Okay.
Cool.
That's
Stuff
good.
like that.
That's good. Good construction job for a guy with your build. Give him the floors. Everything's low. You don't have to worry about things so much.
Yeah.
They don't want you to get high. So, William, this is something that you've always wanted to do, right?
Absolutely.
How old are you?
51.
51. Okay.
Made it.
Hell yeah. All right.
Good for your age and an ex-heroin addict.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's pretty good. You only look 60, so that's perfect.
Hey, you've got kind of a Stanley Tucci leukemia type thing going on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you
All right,
still with
I gotta
your,
be honest. As that came into my head, I go, "Don't say that." I do want to say your jokes were the flow, the pace. I really enjoyed. Like even the first one, I was laughing very hard, and I like the little. I don't know if it's a nervous tick. The kind of walking forward, walking back, moving, kind of without a purpose. But it almost felt like there was room for a. And it's probably too charactery, but like, what was the first joke? It ended on what again? About killing my buzz.
Yeah, they ruined my buzz that day.
Yeah, every joke felt like there was a pause for like a, and that's what's up. Some sort of like, and that's just me being me. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a little bit of a, the way you walked back and like, and fucking heroin, some shit. You know, like.
Or like, I survived
That's the
heroin.
truth. Or, you know,
The guy's
add an F
done
to
stand-up
truth.
comedy for 60 seconds, and he's already got branding.
And I still got all my teeth.
talent, I see talent, Tony.
So, William Ray, tell us what else in life. You seem like a guy that's seen and done a lot. 51 years on the planet. What else about you?
Yeah, man. I used to play rock and roll in Hollywood in the 90s.
Really?
Yes.
Dean
What
Del
kind,
Rey.
what kind of rock and roll would you do? You'd stand there with an electric guitar or something? Or
Yeah, I'm a guitar player.
Okay. You sing it all?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. What do you think? man? What do you think? Should we,
Well,
you don't want
what's like the genre that you most are comfortable with?
Wait, Smash Mouth.
Hold on. We were trying to get...
Somebody
When's the last time you took a shower?
He looks
Like-
clean.
I'm
Right.
doing some. This
Like
is
an
just
hour.
Trust my questions. An hour ago.
Like an hour before coming here, yeah.
Okay. How about some? Can we maybe spray his hands with some hand sanitizer? What do you think? You think of what I'm thinking? You down for this? How many of you guys want to hear this guy play a guitar and maybe sing us a song right now? Huh? All right. How about a big hand for Matt Mueling sharing his weapon out here?
I just
grab
have
that
to-
grab that mic stand right behind you. Throw the mic in there. Put it up to your.
Just a quick disclaimer. I play guitar left-handed, so I'm about to play this guy's guitar upside down.
Oh, okay. Can you do
It's a
that?
challenge.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. William Ray, these former heroin addicts can do some crazy shit. I'm telling you. All the comedians I know that used to do drugs that aren't on drugs are the best. You can't fucking.
We need to sanitizer this.
Okay, there it is. Oh, look at that. Straight from.
Rag? Is there a rag? Oh, I see what you're saying.
All right, here we go.
The stripper just sprayed him.
One more shout out to Matt Mueling for letting this happen. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter at Mutation, MUEHTATION. Very big deal for a musician to let someone else play their instrument, especially upside down, especially when they have done heroin in the past 25 years. You gonna sing too, William? No, you're just gonna play us a little diddly upside down. He's grabbing a stool. I guess he plays like Mark Maron.
He's asking for some backup too.
Wow, there's a whole thing.
Yeah.
What note is this in, Adam? Just in case, we could always.
Do they speak heroin? Do they understand what you're saying right now? Here you. Wait. Okay, that's not.
Oh shit!
Wow. Wow. What the fuck? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, his first time doing stand-up comedy. This guy fucking shreds on a guitar.
What? Stick to music,
That was
dude. What the
amazing.
fuck?
I'm telling you, dude, you rip it like that, and then you look in the camera and go, and that's what's up. Come on, man. The toys.
Did heroin do that?
I love it.
Thank
William Ray, you're a part of the Ray family. I just realized Adam Ray is our guest tonight.
Dad?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I didn't realize. I was hoping that wouldn't happen.
Wow.
That would be fucking nuts if we're related
Hilarious.
somehow.
My last name's Hamilton.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
okay. Well, then you're related to Lord Argus Hamilton, everyone.
So that's like
My middle name's Ray.
Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of energy. So it would be
William Ray Hamilton.
Wait, so how come,
Absolutely.
There you go.
how come you got rid of Hamilton and went to Ray?
As a musician, I use the name Billy Ray Hamilton.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do stand-up here, so I figured let's change it up a bit. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah.
I love it. Switching it up, different thing. It's your life. You can do what you want.
You're really good music. Have you ever thought about doing music and comedy together, or is that just too much?
No, I try to write like some musical comedy songs and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Anytime.
Try
Yeah.
everything. Do everything.
Yeah, you're
Come
you're
back
special.
again. Sign up again.
Absolutely.
Find out more about you. There goes
Thank you,
William
Tony.
Ray, everybody. He's on Instagram at Billy Ray Guitar. Fuck yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you to Matt Mueling for letting him play his guitar. That was so cool. Next up is going to be Nick Nopuja. Nick Nopuja. Or Nick Dopuja.
Can you put the microphone in the middle, dear? Can you put the
Yeah,
microphone?
can you just put it up there?
It's so
Oh.
fun to see all the different
I
white
like how
dudes.
she cleans the pole, though.
Red
That's-
Band, you're disgusting. Stop it. That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good. That's good. Can you lift it up a little bit too?
You just squeeze
To
the
human-
base of it.
to human
yeah.
height, and then no, you don't have to do. All right, that's perfect. That's perfect. Hey, here's Nick DePudja, everybody. Here we go.
Hell yeah! What's up, Austin, Texas? I'm from Las Vegas, so this is all still new to me. This is so fucking dope. So you guys remember SpongeBob? Yeah, how old is this crowd? You guys like in your 20s, 30s? Yeah. Well, over quarantine, the LBGTQ group 3.1456 community decided to have SpongeBob come out as gay. I'm not surprised, not by the fact that he lives in a pineapple under the sea. I just had no clue he's getting butt fucked in it, dude. This changes the whole perspective of the show. I just wanted to watch an innocent kid show, get some laughs. Now I gotta think about Patrick behind SpongeBob. Little, little, little leaf! Yeah! Little, little, little leaf! Yeah! I didn't know SpongeBob's bottom, bitch. He's covered in holes. Patrick's a starfish. That's 5 points of contact. You know what's fucked up, though? I used to watch it in Japanese.